microphone. When he's not on the microphone, he's playing a song. And when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom!
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he.
You know what? Let me say first off, in all seriousness, it is bad out there. Be safe, please. Be safe. It was like, there's a lot of traffic out there.
Oh.
Weirdly enough.
Okay.
And there are some people that are they're being, I don't know if we can say this on the air, so you be the judge, Chris, with the dump button, but I would call them cotton-headed ninny muggins. Okay. That's what I would call them. They're being cotton-headed ninny mugginses.
Okay.
You know, drive safe.
Yeah.
We said that yesterday, but it's super like I was on 160 and at one point I'm coming around the turn going the speed limit. And like, you ever do that and it's raining and just for a split second, you feel your car kind of hydroplane and it freaks you. Like,
yeah.
It's like bad turbulence on an airplane or something. Like you just get that thing that happened on 160. I'm like, okay, all right.
Have you ever done a full hydroplane?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was not great.
No,
it was not great.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I will never forget coming off Cap City Freeway, El Camino Avenue, exiting to go back to Carmichael. I was 18 years old. I was in my first car, 1979 white Datsun pickup. And I was coming, if you know the exit, I was coming around the curve. And I was not speeding or anything. I mean, 18 and stupid, but I wasn't. And it was kind of drizzling. It wasn't raining. I remember it clear as day. And the curve goes left and my truck just kept going. And I did a full 360 on that curve. No cars around me, thank God. It stopped. I put it in reverse for a second, kept going, went straight home, just threw away my underwear. Like that was bad news bears. Hydroplaning, not fun.
Yeah, that's gnarly. That's for sure. Yeah.
Chris, you ever hydroplane before?
Not yet.
No,
Not yet.
Not yet.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Looking forward to it. Yeah. So no, I'm not like poopy pants about that. I feel like here's my problem. We're obviously going to talk a lot about the Kings today. I guess my problem is this. Like, I just feel like myself included. Like the whole talk yesterday was like, well, Miami's really good. They've lost 7 in a row. This is a trap game. And, they had talk and the thing. And, Eric Spoelstra said the deal and, everyone's healthy and Terry Rozier, they're trying to fit in. They're 0-4. And, this is the type of game. I mean, they're really, it felt like a funeral march. Like it felt like we all knew they were going to lose yesterday. Like we all knew they were going to lose. They were dogs in Vegas. You have one team that has a much better record that's won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And it's 3-0 on the road trip. You have another team that has a much worse record, and they're 0-7. I understand heat culture, Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, the talent on the team. They're the defending Eastern. Like, I'm not immune to that. It's not like they're the Hornets. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's this culture here, and I'm not separating myself. Like, I'm right in the middle of it. Like, all fans, media, and hopefully not players and coaches, but that where it's just like, well, these are the types of games. And then I'm speaking to any Kings fan out there right now, like legitimately, seriously, not just for because you're mad. Be honest. You're watching the game yesterday. Were you surprised? Like, the Kings are down, 16 at 1? Were you like, oh my God, I can't? Like, I wasn't even surprised or normally mad about it. Normally I'd be like, dude, you can't do this. I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, no, there's the turnover, there's the sloppy play. Yeah, and we had Katie on yesterday, and I know if Katie was, well, I imagine if Katie was on right now, she'd be saying a lot of the same stuff, and that's just Katie's way. Katie has a lot of knowledge. Obviously, she knows what she's talking about. I don't discount what she says, but we just kind of have different looks at it. Like, I get it. I get who the Heat are. I get they were going to end their losing streak sometime. But, like, the whole NBA Robitussin thing it's not an accident. It's not like that just came around.
I don't know what that means.
Meaning when
you won more game, you're not the Robitussin.
When another team.
To you, they are.
To me, they are. Because more often than not, it seems when another team is ailing, we're the cure. We're the
because
Robitussin.
You're so involved in the Kings.
You're probably right because I'm locked in the moment.
Right.
But the amount of times where it's like, oh well, we're going up against this team. They've either they're missing a ton of players or they're on a losing streak or whatever it may be that's negative for them. And then the Kings come in and it's like, oh, I feel better. I beat them. I won.
Except for when they win, it's none of that.
You're right, but it sure seems like these happen a lot. And maybe I just noticed the losses more than the wins.
You have to. I mean, they've won 8 more games than they've lost.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. What?
Think you notice the losses more than the wins?
Last night to me was nowhere even remotely close to the neighborhood of a Willoty.
No, I agree.
And I already feel like that's where you're going.
Nope.
Yeah, I had a feeling like a lot of people are like, how can you lose like this? It's like,
I'm not.
I actually didn't even think that. I mean, they didn't shoot the ball well. Like last night's game to me was almost a comp, not quite, but to the Memphis win, where it's like, all right, you got through it. Like, I don't think it's really going to be that memorable, and you move on, you play 82, and it's like, okay, it's a win. And like last night, I don't know, of the losses, a lot of the things were predictable because of the desperate, like they were more desperate. I don't know how you manufacture that if you're the Kings.
Sure.
But I thought they, did all the things to compete and were in it, erased a big lead, a big deficit. And then just at the end, the Heat, won the game. I didn't think of it the same way you are by any means.
Is it possible to be like, I actually have this in 3 for Men. Where is it here? Is this the worst looking best Kings team of all time? Like, even this road trip, like, I feel like they're still kind of playing like crap. But they won, but they were 3-0 with exceptions. Like the first 2, I'm there. Memphis.
So 2 of the 3 wins, you're there.
2 of the 4 games, I'm there. But then like Memphis, they look like crap, but they won because Memphis was playing like Fred from accounting.
Okay.
And then last night, it's like, well, let's break the 7 games. That's us. We're gonna break it. Not New York, not Charlotte, not whoever. No, we're right here. We're gonna break the streak. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being too emotional and negative. But I feel like Milwaukee, Denver, Minnesota, Philly, even Golden State to a point, although not this year, but like your true blue like contenders, like the real ones are like, we're gonna blow you out by 30. You're not breaking the streak against us. Like it's a point of pride. You're not going to break. You're on a 7-game losing streak. We're not your get good.
Yeah,
that's not happening. And
Milwaukee may not be the best example. They just lost.
Yeah, you're right.
And they haven't won with Doc.
By the way, They lost to the Blazers last night. My favorite thing watching the end of that game was knowing Portland was going to foul.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you shouldn't have Dame Lillard inbounding to Giannis.
Yeah. Just
a thought, Doc. Doc's already docking
hot
around.
Seat?
I mean, Doc shouldn't have had a seat in the first place, but dude, like that is basic. Like I often, I don't like criticizing coaches like that because it's like, well, who are you, stupid?
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but like that's coaching. Come on, dude. There's no justification for that. Like, knowing they're going to foul, you're inbounding it to a not great at all free throw shooter, and let's go. Either way. It's fun. Look, it's not the end of the world. I'm not like end of the worlding about this. I just didn't like the whole thing. My problem is less with the game and the outcome, weirdly enough, than like just the whole, I feel like we all expected them to lose last night. Like, it was talked about, led into, and expected. And I hope that's not the way it was in the locker.
And I didn't take that as a knock against the Kings, as your reference to Robitussin, as much as this is Miami. This is like, I think, and I don't think enough people do this. Like, when the Kings lost 4 in a row and Atlanta was coming in, like, the Kings are going to beat the Hawks tonight. They're just going to beat the Hawks.
Yeah.
They're a good team.
Yeah.
The Hawks are not that great.
Yeah.
Kings, I feel like, are going to play angry. They had the 2 brutal losses to the Bucks and the Suns in there. I'm like, and then they had the home game. I think they wanted to bounce back against the Pacers, but didn't play very well. Like, they're going to beat Atlanta, and they did.
Yeah.
I think it's just like that.
There's something weird about this team, man. I can't put my finger on it. Like, you look at the record.
Mm-hmm.
You look at a lot of they've got some really good signature wins this year. I don't know what the analogy is, and I don't know what to compare them to. There's something, and I 100% acknowledge that expectations are higher. That if they were doing this last year, we'd be like, oh my God, well, we were.
Yeah. And the rest of the West wasn't as good.
And the rest of the West wasn't as
I
good.
mean, they're still 5th, right?
Uh-huh.
I think.
Yeah.
Unless Phoenix got them. I don't remember if Phoenix caught them last night or
There's
not.
something weird about this team so far this year where it's like they're it seems like for every good signature, Oklahoma City, Minnesota win. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Can't see us having fun.
Yeah. They like their sports.
They love their sports. For every good signature win.
Yeah.
There's like Charlotte, Portland.
Yeah. Sounds like an NBA season to me.
Yeah. Just want them to get their act. Get your act together. Even though they were 3-0 to start the trip. Get your act together now.
Winners of 4 in a row and a season high 9 games above 500 going into last night.
Phoenix caught them. They're tied for Kings are ahead on percentage. 27-19 to 28-20 for the Suns. Kings are 4.5 now behind the Nuggets. What's the magic number? I don't know.
Yeah.
Too early for that?
Never too early.
You know what? Finish this road trip. Honestly, at this point, they beat the Bulls.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't even say beat the Bulls.
Yeah.
Get one more win. I want to get greedy.
Yeah.
4-3. Live with 4-3.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. 5-2.
Can you?
Well, 5-2
No,
would have been.
can you?
Can I live with
Yeah.
4? Yeah.
Because if they win the next 2 and then they lose the last one, you're going to go, how do you do this? You have the chance to come home with the win and you just let it go.
Could have been 6-1.
Let's see here. So they got Indiana,
Yeah.
Chicago, Cleveland. I'll take Indy. They beat Indiana, then I don't even the other two. Like, I'll say this right
Should
now.
I keep this recorded?
Exactly.
I'll say this right now. If they beat Indiana, I promise not get mad about the last 2.
Chris, record that.
Assuming that they play hard.
Oh. You know what? I feel like they never play hard.
I'm attempting to dazzle Dave.
Like, if they lose at Cleveland, that is a perfectly acceptable loss. But can't we agree there's a difference between, like, hey, that was a really good game. You know what? Cleveland beat them 115 to 104. It was an 11-point loss. So you know what, man? Wow, Cleveland looked really, really good. Kings end of the road trip. Like, I get it. And, like, Cleveland 131, Sacramento 127. Kings blow a 30-point lead in the last 4 minutes of the
Those are
fourth.
different.
Like, I'm just saying. Like, I feel like that, as long as it's not something like that.
Okay.
Indiana, Chicago, Cleveland. Just get 1. I would like 2. I'd be ecstatic for 3. But 1, if they get 1 of those 3, I will officially deem it a success.
What happens if on the final game the Kings do give up that 30-point lead but win it?
And that's their only win, or?
No. They've won all of them.
He's saying, like,
Oh.
I will be happy.
Mm.
But yeah, there will be a part of a segment where it's like, you can't give up these leads. That's not going to work against Boston in the finals.
Oh, they're going to the finals.
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
if they get their act together
Oh, yeah.
and start blowing out the Memphises.
This is a championship team, Jason.
I forgot.
You know what? Caterpillar isn't truly a butterfly until it believes it's a butterfly. That's what they say.
Yeah. And you know what'll make that happen?
What?
Ben Simmons.
That's right. Here is knee.
He did?
He did. You didn't know that?
Yeah, he's out.
No, he tweaked his knee in that game that he played well in, and he didn't play last night.
36 more.
He's not expected to miss. Like
Months.
he might even play in
Years.
their next game. But yeah, he tweaked his knee. Poor guy.
Knee contusion.
Knee contusion. He's just sensitive.
He is.
It's not his fault.
Yeah.
It's a 65 game thing.
If he would just get his act together.
I don't think. Yes, if he just wanted it.
Yeah.
All right, Kings lose in Miami again. All-star reserves are announced today, and the Seahawks have a new coach. And he'd be darn near the youngest guy on the show.
Can I get Michael McDonald?
Right, yes, and he's touring right now with the Doobie Brothers. Pat Dom won't want to see him. We'll talk about it. Leading off is next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
It was a contest. Oh, they were doing a contest out
Who
of
can
kids.
yell
Yeah.
the loudest?
Yeah, well, apparently, right,
Early.
who has the loudest? And I told them, I said, look, there's always a split second. I don't know if it's the way with you two, probably not, but with me, whenever I hear them screaming down there for a split second, I'm like, did somebody break in? Like, legit, I think that. And then it's like, oh, no, they're doing a contest.
Into this fortress?
You're right?
Yeah.
Who would do that?
Right.
I can barely get in here.
That's right.
They fixed the gate, but my clicky doesn't
Gotta
work.
get past the moat.
All right, here's cut number 1. Cut number 1.
The bottom line, we got to give the Heat a lot of credit. I thought they outworked us tonight. First half, we had 11 deflections, and we're big on deflections. It kind of gives us an idea of what our activity level is, and we had 11 deflections in the first half, which was pretty good. I thought in the first half we missed a lot of open shots. We took some pretty good shots that we missed, but we were active defensively, and that's what kept us in the game. And then the second half, we had 3 deflections the whole second half, and for us, again, that's a telltale sign that we weren't active enough on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, it's right there.
Okay. Not active enough.
But so what did he say? He said, you got to give Miami credit. They outworked us.
Okay. In the second half.
And what's wrong with saying, like, no credit to Miami, discredit to us?
Okay.
We should never be outworked. And if
Okay.
we're outworked, then that's a problem. Like, if it's like Miami was on fire, Miami they couldn't miss, they play like they were shot out of a cannon. Like, I didn't feel, honestly, maybe you looked at it differently. I didn't feel Miami played particularly well last night. They played well enough to win, but it's not like, there have been these games where it's just like, okay, they're making everything. They're doing everything right. Like, we have the worst luck. But when the coach himself is like, we got outworked.
Yeah, I don't know. 50% shooting, 38 assists is a ridiculous number.
38 assists is insane.
I think it was like 42 makes. I mean, that's incredible.
So you're saying you think they played well. You think they played well.
I do, with talent, with a players-only meeting, the frustrated team, a coach that didn't speak before the game.
Maybe we need a players-only meeting.
After one loss.
And, here's the other thing. In a 9-point loss, and we're going to talk about this here, and I'll save that thought because that's in our very next leading off. All right, 115-106, Miami wins. We'll have a lot to talk about with that here in just a moment. In the meantime, cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You saw me looking weirdly. I guess we don't have a clip for all-star selections. So
announced today.
We'll just say the selections are announced today. And this is where I was going with that. De'Aaron Fox was 4 of 16 for 13 points.
Yeah, he wasn't very good.
He was not.
Yeah.
And we've seen flashes. He had 34 a couple games ago. He had 29 the game before that. But he's averaging 22.5 points this month. Or he averaged, I should say. He finishes off with 22.5 points on 43% shooting, 32% from behind the arc. That's down from 29, 48, and 44. 30, 49, and 36. 31, 48, 37. Now, look, people have slumps. But back to is he right? Is he okay? And he said to Jason Anderson yesterday, this is a story circulating. I'm paraphrasing, but it was basically like, I'm not really, I don't care if I'm an all-star reserve. Like, I'm good. Indiana's cold, I think is what he said anyways. And for some guys, you're like, sure you don't. Yeah. I believe him. So I honestly, you know what? Do you know this? Like, the all-star reserves are announced today. Do we know when the voting stopped? Like, for the reserves? I mean, when I say voting, I'm sorry, the decision making from the coaches, etc.
Probably a day or two ago.
Okay, so there's no. What I'm getting at is, it would be kind of cool if De'Aaron basically by saying that somehow kind of made the decision easier to put Sabonis on. But if that quote didn't get out in time, then maybe he should have said that earlier.
But I don't know that. You think coaches see that?
I think if he's saying it publicly, it makes me wonder if somehow it got
he already knows.
or if somehow it got to the, look, if De'Aaron doesn't want to play and it may come down to him and Sabonis for one of the final spots, get that out there, because it sounds like I'm sure Sabonis wants to play.
Yeah, I'm a little I've seen a lot of people pick their reserves, and I've literally seen both on there. I've seen one in each of them, and I've seen none, and I'm a little stunned by none, but I really don't know what's going to happen tonight.
I think it'll be if I had to guess, I think Sabonis will make it Fox one.
Yeah, so now you go so we're so close to it. Like, national perspective, I think it was last night. Everybody on the TNT panel had Fox. No, and I don't think anybody had Sabonis. Maybe one.
Really?
Yeah. And but there was a time, probably we go back maybe 3 weeks to a month, where people are talking about Fox in the top 5, top 7 MVP.
Absolutely.
And so, sometimes you get a framework put out there. Not that Sabonis was playing poorly. But some people, like, every time the Kings play nationally, they'll be like, well, Sabonis really struggled in the play. Like, that's the first thing that's brought up. And I'm thinking, well, why are we even talking about that right now? He's having an amazing season.
I think they both deserve to make it. I'm a homer, whatever, but I can back that argument up. It is a debate. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, up until last night actually really hurt De'Aaron, because I was just looking at this. Up until last night, De'Aaron Fox had Steph Curry in every stat.
Yeah, and that could be one of the debates there at the end, maybe.
But that should be one of the debates. There's no way they're leaving Curry off.
See, now, the way you say that, though, why?
because he's Steph Curry.
Right, but that to me is wrong.
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah.
No, I'm 1,000,000,000,000% on the same page you are. It is wrong. It's dumb. Like you shouldn't just be godfathered into the game.
Yeah.
Not that Steph's averaging 4 points a game or anything. It's close. But then it's also like, but it's Steph Curry and he's one of the biggest draws in the NBA.
Yeah. And then we're back to the same old thing. Like for any award or anything, it's like, what are you measuring? Is it stats? Is it winning? Is it, then if you go to wins, Steph's out of the top 10.
Yeah. De'Aaron Fox's team.
It's a 5 seed.
Yeah. And up until last night, they're separated by 0.3 of a point right now, but De'Aaron had more points per game. They were the same in rebounds. Steph now has them by 0.2. De'Aaron had more assists, more steals, same in blocks, and a better field goal percentage. Now, Steph gets him in pretty much all the other percentages, including, obviously, free throw. But you look at those two, and it's like their stats are pretty damn exact.
Right.
And one guy is, on a very successful team. But there's just, this too. There's no chance. Every single person will have Steph Curry on their reserve team.
Most likely.
So, but I personally, De'Aaron had a bad month. My assumption is there's something physical going on. Week off could do him a lot of good.
It could.
So,
yeah.
All right. Cut number 3.
Cut number 3.
Okay, the Seattle Seahawks have gone from the oldest coach in the league in Pete Carroll to the now youngest head coach in the league, the former Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator, Mike Macdonald, who interviewed yesterday for the first time with the team. They flew him back to Seattle. That was a sign right there that they were ready to move on Mike Macdonald, who was in play in Tennessee, who was in play in Carolina, who was highly thought of. And here's how badly the Seahawks wanted Mike Macdonald. They were ready, if the Baltimore Ravens won this past weekend against the Chiefs, to hold off their search until after the Super Bowl so that they could get a chance to talk to and try to hire Mike Macdonald as their head coach. He's 36 years old, and now he steps into a division where his main job will be to try to slow down the offensive attacks of Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers and Sean McVay of the Los Angeles Rams. But the Seahawks are changing the direction of their franchise. The youth movement is on, and they are having Mike Macdonald lead that franchise into the future with a 6-year contract.
6-year contract for a 35-year-old first-time head coach. They really like him.
They do. One interview, bring him right back. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, there you go. As Adam said, that was Adam Schefter. You go from the oldest coach in the league in Pete Carroll to now the youngest coach in the league, 35. I love the youth movement, though. Yeah. I really do. These good young coaches, they're still going to be your old stuffy Hank Stram, Bill Belichick types, I'm sure. Andy Reid's and all that, but the Mike, what's his face in Miami, Mike McDaniel. Thank you. Now Macdonald, also a Dewey brother.
Yes,
what a fool believes. And Kyle Shanahan's still relatively young. Cliff Kingsbury's not a head coach right now, but him too. There's young coaches all over the league, and with
Sean McVay's still young.
Sean McVay's,
he's been coaching a long time.
That's exactly right. So good for Seattle. They got their guy, and that's it. Look, Seattle's doing the right things in the draft. I don't know if Geno Smith is the long-term answer there, but Seattle's not that.
Well, they're chasing the Niners. That's what they're doing.
They are chasing the Niners, but boy, those windows are kind of shaping up to where maybe just as the Niners window is ending, here come the Seahawks again.
Could be.
It's good to see. If you're a Seattle fan, we'll take a break, which I'm not. When we come back, the Kings lose in Miami. What? No way. We've got the audio for it next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible. So Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Ahead to Fox. Fox now to Keegan on the right angle. Eludes a defender. Steps into a 16-foot two-pointer. Comes up short. Gets it back and flushes it home. And the Kings take their first lead of the ball game up by one. On a second chance opportunity there for Keegan Murray. 8-7 in favor of the Kings. Tyler Hero. Chasing Hero to the right. Skip pass goes to the left. Here's another three and another score. Josh Richardson. Where they space it beautifully and they skip past cross court. Richardson's now made 3 or 4 from downtown. The Kings are back down by 8. 34-26. Pass inside to Lyles. And Kessler Edwards swinging out to Malik. Steps into a triple. It's no good. Rebound chased down at the Kings bench and safe from going out of bounds by Hero. Long lead pass to Richardson. Gets to two-point range. Leaves his feet. Throws to the right side. Here's a run to the rim by Martin. And he scores it. Kings trail by 10 now. Second one for Sabonis. Missed them both. He still hasn't scored. With 10 seconds from the midpoint of the second quarter. On the right wing, Terry Rozier feeds to the baseline. Up and under, run to the rim, and a score by Caleb Martin. Kings are getting blown out in South Florida. After a dribble move and a floater in the paint that's good for two by Josh Richardson. 108-96. Now inside 3 minutes to go. Backcourt steal. Dagger. Here's Butler now giving it up. Richardson sets his feet, launches, misses the three. Offensive rebound in traffic. Grabbed by the Heat. Terry Rozier. The Butler in the left corner. Working against Sabonis. Shot clock at 6. Drives inside. Kicks it on the wing. Richardson for 3. Turn out the lights. It's now a 15-point game. Here's Keegan Murray from the right corner. He knocks down his 6th three-pointer in 10 attempts. Gives him a 30-point game, but the Kings trail 111-99. Caleb Martin now to Jimmy Butler at the logo. Double-team blitz. Goes in the paint. Kick out to the corner. Richardson for 3 more. This one is missed. And Sabonis has the rebound. Sabonis takes it up the floor, drops it off his hip to Herter, swings to the right side. Keegan for another 3. He's got another one. There's still hope for the Kings. It's 111-102. Gives it up to Butler. Butler just milking the clock now. Difference between the clocks, 5 seconds. Miami fans coming to their feet en masse. Franchise win number 1,500 to be achieved in 5 more seconds. If they take a shot clock violation, the Kings will get it with 5.1 seconds to go. 115-106. And the 7-game losing streak for the Heat will be halted. Kings not even looking to take it to the front court. They just dribble out the final seconds, and there's the buzzer. And so the difficulty of winning in South Florida continues for the Sacramento Kings. 36 visits, only 5 wins to show for it. They've now lost the last 5 times they've come into this building. Final score is 115-106.
Yep. There's a few things to look at here. Number one, we talk about the fact that if you want sort of a dark side, bright side, it's that the Kings are 3-1 on this road trip. And we've talked about De'Aaron Fox's struggles.
Yeah.
It must be a Kentucky thing because Malik Monk is really, really, really struggling right now. His last 4 games, he scored 4, 9, 3, and then last night, 6 points. His last 4 games, 4 games, Jason, he is 1 of 12 from beyond the arc. He is shooting 8 of 24 from the field as a whole. And I got to ask myself too, was it just me or did it seem like they could have run a lot more for Keegan in the second half?
Yeah, there was a time. There was one time I remember, like, where is he? And he wasn't on the floor. He was in some foul situations, but yeah, he was the guy that was hot. You know, when you said earlier, like, get their act together, it's funny, like, what we were waiting for so long was Herter and Barnes.
Yeah.
Now, Barnes wasn't great last night, but this stretch, he's been good.
Yeah.
And Herter's been good.
Yep.
It's now you see Fox and maybe Monk.
Yeah.
And you go, you're not going to get all of your main 8 playing great every night.
Sure.
But if it's like, oh, Monk wasn't good last night, but before the previous 3, he was great. Monk's in a stretch.
Yeah. Monk's going through it right
Yeah.
now.
And so that's where I would say the inconsistency of the team is you have some players playing well. I thought Keegan was great. I thought Sabonis was massive again, but you just don't get all of the guys to come through or enough other guys to come through. And that's been the inconsistent part.
8 of 29 were Fox and Barnes for 21 points. In the meantime, Keegan was a model of consistency. It was one of those nights where he was 12 of 18. I would have liked to have seen him get at least 5 to 10 more shots. Just give him the ball and set it up for him. 7 of 11 from beyond the arc. I'll tell you what the 9 points on 4 of 13 for Barnes. I mean,
13 shots, though.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, that's him being aggressive enough.
I appreciate him being aggressive.
And, you know, you were talking about him and Fox, but they're also 1 of 14 from 3. And this is another. So 2 things have been happening to the Kings this year. We've seen it a couple times when teams have gone small that seem to rattle them a little bit. I thought the zone from Miami was a problem.
Yep.
So it just slows them down, and it takes a little bit longer to get in their offense. And they did get open shots that they didn't make. So a couple things that I'm sure they'll see more. Miami plays as much zone as anybody in the league, and that seemed to bother Sacramento.
Honestly, when you add in Kevin Herter, who had a decent game last night, they're 3 of 20 between Barnes, Fox, and Herter. That ain't great. Hegan was 7 of 11. I'll tell you what bothered me about Barnes, and I saw it a couple of times, and it doesn't show up on the box score, but what we've been able to say so far this year is, well, he might disappear offensively, but generally he's been playing good defense. I thought he was horrible defensively last night. I don't know what it was, but he kept leaving his man to go help, and it's like, dude, they don't need. He was leaving. Who's the guy that was on fire last night? Richardson. So he's checking Richardson. It's like the amount of times he's leaving Richardson to go guard, to go help Kevin Huerter in the corner, who's got his guy pinned. And it's like, bro, what do you? And then they find Richardson, and then it's run and jump and stretch your hands. It's like, late. Bro, just stay with Richardson, bro.
Yeah,
please stay with Richardson. It would be super awesome to guard the guy that shot 60% from beyond the arc last night. He was 6 of 10, 24 points, a season high in both threes and points, I believe. Jimmy Butler broke out, of course, 31 points for him despite 3 uncharacteristic free throw misses. So it was what it was. I mean, there were definitely some mistakes. There were some things they could do better, but on to Cincinnati.
Yes, on to Cincinnati, so we don't get fined.
Yeah, so we don't get fined. So more on that later. Probably should tell you guys, Kelly Brothers is on at 727. Sports business. Loves that
good
segment.
Business.
Oh, my dad.
Oh, I heard this.
Oh, he does. Sam Amick will join us at 8. Oh, Sam wrote something earlier this week. I got to think about this at the break. He wrote something earlier this week and had a question for me.
About Sabonis, I know.
Yeah, it was about Sabonis. It was something specific. Oh. Yeah, we got that and so much more. Hey, listen, 9 a.m., by the way. Niners at 9. We're going to take a look back in history.
Yeah.
Should it just be, why is it history? Like, let's go, man. Come on. Can we figure that out? There's always his. Yeah. History, meningitis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going here. I'm trying to think of others. When we come back, I'm not walking over there before I get my coffee. Alan Stiles.
I know him.
He made some headlines all the way into Sports Illustrated. It's still going. We'll talk about that and what he said the other day. We'll do that next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
It's time to buck up, Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Stop by any participating AM/PM location for a 20% off ticket discount code when you buy Monster Energy.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
At Elk Grove Kia, we get it. Life happens. We believe in second chances. Have repos, late payments, or faced bankruptcy? No problem. Our finance department is top-notch and ready to make miracles happen. No need to worry about money down. At Elk Grove Kia, you can drive away today with $0 out of pocket. Visit us at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Your second chance to drive the car of your dreams is just a visit away. Elk Grove Kia, where we turn obstacles into opportunities. Dare to drive differently.
Elk Grove Kia.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
All right. So Styles and Watkins are our midday show. We love them. They cross-talk with us each and every day. And, still, I guess, relatively new to the station, but they've kind of found their groove.
Absolutely.
And, with all this A's stuff that we're trying to stay up on the other day, Alan went on and he came to us from the Bay Area. And he said the following.
Bay Area source told me that there is something being floated around. So after that 2025 season for the A's, nobody knows what's going to happen. That person told me that there is an idea being floated around that between 2025 and 2028, the A's would not exist as a franchise.
Okay. And he goes on to talk a little bit about, they basically not exist, and then there'd be an expansion draft, basically, and then they'd start playing in Vegas. And it's funny because a friend of the show, Casey Pratt, we've had on many times, is on top of all this. He went on, I think, his YouTube video yesterday and said, yeah, I've heard this
something similar. Okay,
I've heard something very similar, and I believe them both.
Yeah,
and I believe that both of them obviously have, for them to run with this, have a really, really good source that gave them this.
Sure,
it's also never going to happen. Whoever's doing this is leaking stupid things. Let's just stop that right now. 1 trillion% that will not happen.
Why?
Because the Players Association, number one, would be like, yeah, no. Secondly, Major League Baseball would say, yeah, no. This is like crap failing leagues.
Oh, Major League Baseball would step in.
Baseball would step in. Tony Clark of the Players Association would step in. By the way, the minor league system, that's going to be an issue. They'll make John Fisher sell before that happens. No way. Also, 29 teams in a league that plays every day. How are you going to do that? So you can have one team just chill.
Traveling all-stars.
Yeah, exactly. Listen to me. And by the way, let me be clear. Love Alan, love Casey. They did this isn't ripping that. They did their jobs.
Yeah, sources are telling them.
Guarantee you this source was good enough, and has a track record where it's and I don't know who it was, but we're talking high level enough to where, had I been told, I would 100% have run with it. Of course. My question is less, could this happen? It's not going to happen. It's 100,000 trillion billion% not going to happen. There is a better chance of nuclear war forcing the season to be delayed forever.
Don't put that out there.
I'm just saying, it's a better chance.
Okay.
I'd say a lot better chance.
Lot better chance. But that doesn't mean that the report doesn't have merit. Of course the report has merit, but the merit to me is not, could this happen? It's, why are they leaking this? And where is this coming from? And Casey knows the source, and Alan knows the source, and there's probably a 98% chance, generally, it's the same source. That happens all the time. So only what I want to know, and I'm going to ask Alan when he comes in, because they know the source. So obviously they're not going to give up their source.
Right.
But what I want to know is, hey, look, and we can argue as to whether or not it's going to happen, but let's not even argue about that. Let's just assume it's not. What would be the purpose of this league?
Right.
Because if you haven't noticed, over the last 2 weeks, you've had Jeff Passan, you've had Ken Rosenthal, there's one other big national writer I'm forgetting. You've had 3 heavy hitter national baseball writers who rely on baseball and rely on the front offices of baseball for a lot of their information. They have all 3 put out something to the point of this thing's in trouble and John Fisher is not doing things right. I'm not saying they have to clear that with baseball, but let's just follow along. You have a bevy of local people, including us, that are saying something smells wrong here. You're starting to hear a lot of pushback in Vegas. These renderings aren't out, et cetera, et cetera. Then you get Alan and Casey hearing that thing. Somebody's pushing an agenda.
But why?
But why?
Yeah.
Are they trying to smoke Fisher out of ownership? Are they trying to leverage Vegas? I don't usually, I'm pretty good at looking at the chessboard. I've got to be honest. I'm a little mystified. I can think of options. I'm a little mystified as to what is the end game here. But I do truly believe that this is a coordinated this is a coordinated push right here.
Just trying to figure out the reason behind it and the leak and why and what agenda then are they pushing? What direction are they trying to take this?
You have Peter Angelos' group that agreed to sell the Orioles yesterday for $1.7 billion. When you look objectively at market size, and we talked a little bit about this, team success, everything about it, stadium, all of that stuff, there's no way the A's sell for anywhere near that. It's more like low, billion, 1.1, 1.2 billion. We talked about it. Fisher's trying to raise funds for the stadium based on giving equity at a $2 billion valuation. Right. That's not going to
numbers are not adding up.
It's not going to happen. And we've also talked about this before. This is very important to understand. And I know this is getting a little nerdy, but please hear me out. If you were a minority owner of the Sacramento Kings and Chris Verlade was the majority owner, the controlling owner, Chris is Vivek basically, right. and you're Phil Oates, and you're selling your shares, and I have an opportunity to buy your shares, or I have an opportunity to buy his shares, Chris Verlade's, Chris Vivek.
Mm-hmm.
I am paying a massive premium to buy his shares over your shares. Your shares are not worth what his shares are because his shares are the beauty pageant shares.
Yeah.
So when you're buying controlling interest of a team, the valuation of those shares are always going to be higher because you're paying to be the guy that sits front row, the guy that does the press. Again, these are beauty pageant purchases.
Yeah, person that ends up on camera.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's important to understand because when you have John Fisher out shopping equity in the club, it's probably not even going to be at $1.2 billion. If I'm a businessman and I understand how that works, I'm going to say, look, they sold at 1.7. You're worth 1.2, but you're worth 1.2 if I get your shares. I'll pay 1.2 valuation if I'm the new John Fisher. But if I'm going to be a minority owner, and please understand how that works, you have no say. Let's just use the Kings. They have like 20-something. They have less than they used to. They have like 20-something minority owners. They have no say in anything. Let me be really clear about this. They have meetings. They have get whatever, Zoom calls. They don't have a say in anything. Nothing. How do they make their money? They sell their shares. That's how you make your money. Now, a lot of teams will sometimes have, profit sharing. To my knowledge, at least up until the year before last, the last I checked, there had never, ever, ever been dividends for this new ownership. They're all what they call capital calls. The Kings want to buy this, they want to buy that, they want to refurb this, they want to refurb that. You call everybody up and you say, hey, we're doing a capital call. We need to raise $30 million. And you divide that by what percentage of the team they own, and that's what you're due. And if you don't pay that or you don't pay all of that, another owner has the opportunity to swoop in, pay that, and they get some of your equity. That's how, again, I know I'm getting nerdy, but my point is with the A's, for John Fisher to try to raise $2 billion or to try to raise money at a $2 billion valuation is so far and beyond a pipe dream that he'd be lucky to raise equity in a valuation of $1 billion.
Right.
So if he's trying to raise $100 million, let's say, which he's not, he's trying to raise $500 million or something like that. You're talking about half the team. The numbers just don't add up. There's something rotten in Vegas, and I think it's starting to seep out. And I'll say again, and I think we should hammer this thing as much as we can. This Vegas thing is on the ropes, man. It is seriously on the ropes.
Yeah.
But the A's are not going to stop operating.
Right.
Trust me on that. We'll take a break. When we come back, hey, let's pick these all-star reserves. And John Hollinger makes a very interesting case for a Sacramento King to make the all-star team. We'll tell you about it next.
The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite.
Join all of our shows. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Dials, and Watkins. And the Drive Guys as they follow their quest for a 6th Super Bowl title.
Pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead.
Sactown Sports is your home for San Francisco 49ers football.
San Francisco!
Try NyQuil Severe Honey Flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold medicine.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. It can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry are here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call.
At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested and will greet you with a smile.
They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later.
They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys.
So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom!
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Here in Florida, inbounds pass to Sabonis. Kings need buckets right now. Fox working at the top of the arc. Probes now takes it inside, pulls up off the bounce, and he gets the favorable bounce off the rim on about a 10 or 11 footer to make it 99-90. Fox 4 for 15 with that make. He has 12 points.
There's De'Aaron Fox, who could be an all-star. We might find that out today. Fox and Sabonis. I don't know why, but for some reason I remember I was in the parking lot of McDonald's in El Dorado Hills last year when they announced the all-star reserves. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. Just watching TNT. I was caught after a meeting I had to go to, and I just literally pulled over because I wanted to watch the announcement. And so here's a McDonald's. I get a sweet tea. I'm just chilling in the parking lot watching TNT on my phone and just super excited to see both Fox and Sabonis. Well, that was a big deal. John Hollinger, who I normally don't like his analysis, I thought he had an interesting paragraph today when picking his reserves. He says, quote, Fox has been a revelation on defense this season. And this stand against Curry at the end of the Warriors-Kings game last week was emblematic of it. And then there's a video of the final stand when Fox and then Herter comes over and they force the turnover. This wasn't some random one-off. It's shown up on tape time and again through the first half of the season. Steph Curry, meanwhile, has dropped off substantially on this end and has become a hugely popular target for opponents. I can make a lot of different arguments here, but taking Steph Curry over De'Aaron Fox right now feels weird. And then he puts in parentheses, dodging a lightning bolt. Based on what I've seen over the last several weeks, it's okay to think the 35-year-old version of Curry is still awesome, but also think he's not quite as awesome as he was 2 years ago. Virtually every data point is screaming that from the hilltop. So he elects to put De'Aaron Fox on the All-Star reserves at the expense of Steph Curry.
Okay.
Now, Based on our last segment, I feel very comfortable saying this. The A's have a better chance of ceasing operations for 3 years than Steph Curry does at not making the reserves. But I don't disagree with John Hollinger, but that's the problem. And you brought it up earlier. Is it your numbers? Is it wins for your team? Is it MVP consideration in the first half? And is it entertainment, what the fans want? And I think that last one, other than LeBron James, I don't know that there's a player in the NBA that fans want. Fans, I'm using the royal fans here, would want to see more than Steph Curry.
Exactly.
Plus, he's already doing the little 3-point thing.
Right. Yeah.
But also, he goes on to say, and this is where Hollingers, he goes on to say that he would leave Sabonis off, and if need be, he actually has Lauri Markkanen off too, but would be ahead of Sabonis. Like Markkanen would be his first injury replacement between the two of them. Yeah, he says that numbers actually show that even though Sabonis is looking better numbers-wise than he is last year, he says the counter-argument is NBA offenses. And while Sabonis is averaging more points, rebounds, and assists and is shooting a higher percentage, his player efficiency rating, by the way, a stat invented by John Hollinger, and his offensive box plus-minus are lower because once you compare it to the advancing tide of the league, he's actually lost a little bit of ground.
And I'm sure coaches are in there going, okay, let me do the offensive plus minus and the player efficiency. I mean, come on.
I don't know how you, for example, look at this last few stretches of games for Domantas Sabonis. He's having a career year. He is incredibly difficult to guard. He is muscling everyone around. I was reading something yesterday about how he did this test, and it showed like all these foods that don't do well with his body. So he started this new diet in the off season. Not a lot, cutting out Italian food, gluten-free, that type of thing. And he said his weight stayed the same pretty much. He hasn't lost any weight, but now he has absolutely zero body fat.
Wow.
And you can see that out there, Jason, when you look at his game log just recently. I just want to give you, let me just give you since the 9th of January.
Okay.
Let me just give you his shooting percentages. Okay. Last night, 50%.
That's down.
The night before, 91. 70, 73, 40, 62, 82, 90, 60, 70, 76. Most of his, well, I don't know about most, a large, if not most of his points, or a large part of them, are cleanup.
Yeah.
They're not plays. They're offensive rebounds. They're him down low, end of the shot clock. He's got 3 guys on him, pump fake in, one type of thing. When you combine that with, he's shooting 74% from the free throw line, which isn't terrible. But, add 6% to that, make him an 80% free throw shooter. He's averaging 22, 23 points instead of 21, which right now, 21 points, 14 and a half boards for the month, and 9 assists. He's averaging 20, 13, and 8 on the year on 62%. Wow. Dude. The only other question, honestly, Jason, is do you hear the old clarion call here that when you're shooting 45% from beyond the arc, you need to shoot more 3-pointers?
Yeah.
Here's my question. We talk about Harrison Barnes's plays. We talk about De'Aaron's volume, Keegan, this and that. Are we missing the boat on, is the obvious answer right in front of us? Should they be calling more plays and focusing more offensively on Domantas Sabonis?
I think the ball is in his hands so much. I think they already do. And I don't know how many plays they even really call. I think a lot of it is read and react, free flowing. I think that's the beauty of the offense. But he's the centerpiece of it. And, how many times you see him get the rebound and go and just put the pressure? It's not always just Fox with the speed. It's Sabonis with making quick decisions and going.
So if you and I are picking the All-Star reserves.
Yep.
I want to hear yours.
Okay, well, we have to remind everybody we know LeBron's in, KD's in,
Yes.
Jokic,
yes,
SGA, and Luka.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get 7 reserves. I feel like these are the 6, and I'm debating on my last one. So I feel like Booker is in. I feel like Anthony Edwards is in. I feel like Paul George is in. I feel like Kawhi Leonard is in. I feel good about those. I do think Anthony Davis is going to make it, whether I love that or not. and I do think Steph Curry is going to make it. And my reason for Curry making it is this: he is having a good year. I mean, he is. It's not like he's we have to remember. I think they're still factoring in all the elements, and he was second in voting.
Yes.
It's just SGA got it in on that player rank. Like there was a couple other metrics. So this is an exhibition. It is a showcase for the. I mean, he had over 3 million votes. People want to see him there, and he's like an iconic player having a good year. I just think he's in.
It'd be a lot easier if it was him edging out Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because SGA is a
right. Then Curry got the starting
yeah.
spot, and so then So that's the 6. There's a 7th spot in my list is Fox, Sabonis, Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns, Lauri Markkanen, Jamal Murray. I think Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren all can get mentioned. Sengun. I'm not doing that.
Same.
And I can't tell if Fox's early season momentum is going to have more pull than really Sabonis has been good all year, but he's been greater lately.
Yep.
I guess I'll put Sabonis in. With apologies to Gobert, Cat, Murray. I don't know. I think that's the group. That's my group.
So I don't have a problem with that. I'm looking at a list of reserve possibilities here. Steph Curry's in.
Did I miss somebody?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Steph Curry is in 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. Kawhi Leonard, I believe, is going to be in 100%. Devin Booker will be in.
Yeah.
So that's 3.
Isn't Anthony Edwards in? The T-Wolves have to.
I very much believe in Anthony Edwards. The only question for me is I don't think 3 T-Wolves make it.
No.
So is it Edwards? It's Edwards, yes. And then is it Gobert or Towns?
Or just one.
Or just one. I think in the end, Gobert will make it. I think Gobert will get in.
And Ant or no?
Ant and Gobert.
Oh, wow.
I think Paul George will get in. I agree with you on that.
That might be your 7 already, isn't it?
Well, Steph, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Gobert, Kawhi Leonard.
You said Booker. And didn't you say AD?
No, I would put Sabonis ahead of AD.
Okay.
I agree with you that in the end, and by the way, let me put it this way. De'Aaron Fox made my decision a lot easier for me yesterday.
Yeah.
If I'm, and again, as you said, the reserves have probably already been picked.
Yeah.
But if I'm any part of picking reserves and I hear a player say that, and not in a bad way, it's just like, look, if it's not that important to you, cool, I'll help you out. And because these guys really want to go, you don't want to go, I'm not going to make you go. And then somebody else is going to be devastated. Thank you, De'Aaron. That makes it a lot easier for me if I'm a coach picking the reserves.
Yeah.
But in the end, it comes down to when you look at Anthony Davis and you look at Domantas Sabonis and you compare the two of them, with a few exceptions, I think overall Sabonis is having a better year and he's on a better team.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to get away with just having one Laker?
Oh, well, you can. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, in the rules.
Right. There is no, hey, you have to have somebody from, there's only one Nugget, right? If Jamal Murray doesn't make it, they're the defending champs. They've got a good record again. OKC could have only one player. The highest ranked team on all of our lists that doesn't have a player is New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that there's an all-star there, but that would be tough.
Anthony Davis has Domantas Sabonis by exactly 5 points per game. That is a very big margin.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis has Domantas Sabonis by almost 2 full blocks a game, 1.8. Those are 2 very significant, leads for Davis. Sabonis is beating him in rebounds. Sabonis has over double the assists. Sabonis has a better field goal percentage, a better 3-point percentage, a better box plus minus, a better value over replacement player. I'm just using those 2 to get in, if you want to go analytics or not. Davis is a better free throw shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, that tells me, okay, so Sabonis is predominantly better than him in many more categories, number 1. Number 2, Sabonis's team is better, and we already have a Laker. And number 3, Sabonis 8-0 against him head-to-head,
yeah,
which totally doesn't count.
Yeah,
I believe Sabonis is going to. By the way, it wouldn't surprise me if they both got screwed. You're going to take a top 5 team, a playoff team last year that had 2 all-stars, and both of them are putting up better numbers than they did last year, and you're not going to put one of them on the list. I think literally the coaches are sitting around making this decision saying at some point they're like, we have to put one king on this team.
Yeah. We already have an inferiority complex. This wouldn't help.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
But as a Kings fan, I'm not going to lie. There's a part of me. It's like, you know what? Don't pick either of them. Let's do it. Piss everyone off.
Give them a week off.
Give them a week off. Give the locker room a reason to be pissed off. Rally around them. Now, I apologize. Well, De'Aaron didn't want to play, so really, I apologize to Sabonis.
Yeah.
But it's tough for me to make an argument that them both being left off isn't better for the team. It has the potential to be better.
It hasn't happened that many times, but it did recently. I want to say it was Bradley Beal with the Wizards a couple years ago where he did make the All-Star team, but he made All-NBA, which
really
is, to me, is always kind of funny that you're like,
hilarious.
half the year, more than half the year, you don't put him on an All-Star team, but at the end, he's an All-NBA player when you count both conferences.
Makes a ton of sense, Jason.
So it'd be interesting if Fox or Sabonis didn't make it and then made an All-NBA team.
We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness, last night's loss. We'll talk about that, the All-Star game, and we'll have a question about this year's team in a very specific way. We'll get to that, brought to you by Fire Wings next.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Okie dokie artichokes, Skelly Brothers coming up at 7:27. That's in 10 minutes, almost to the second. Sam Amick at 8.
Business.
Thank you. Sam Amick at 8 a.m. We'll talk all kinds of things, including his sit down with Domantas Sabonis. Maybe it was a stand up. I don't know. Maybe it was a lean to. I don't know. And the oncoming trade deadline and who he would have as his all-star reserves. In the meantime, Fire Wings brings you 3 for Madness. Christopher Law, question 1.
How predictable was last night's loss?
Very predictable. We all predicted it. Vegas predicted it. Everybody predicted it. You have the team with the better record who's won 4 in a row going up against a team that has lost 7 in a row. And the one team that's 3-0 on the road trip, the other team that's lost 7 in a row, better record, momentum. Everything's going for the King in the King's way. But, in the end, we all, I wouldn't say we all knew the Kings were going to lose, but I honestly think we all expected the Kings to lose, and they lost. I'm just saying, I think that's how the fan base was.
Yeah.
I think if we took a poll yesterday of who's going to win tonight, would have been like 75% Heat. And I don't like that.
I know you say better record, which is factually true. Before the losing streak, it wasn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
And going into the year, would you say the Kings were better than the Heat? After the Heat coming up?
No.
Yeah. So to me, none of it's surprising. The Kings, in their history, have won 5 games in Miami, in Sacramento. 5 times.
5.
Chris Webber never won a game in Miami.
No, he didn't.
As a King. So all those things added up. It was predictable. And I think they did their part to try to make it not so predictable, but Miami is too much.
I guess I'd like to get to the point someday where something like last night happens and I'm actually really surprised, where I'm like, dude, we just won 4 in a row. They'd lost 7 in a row. I can't believe we lost. I think what really bothers me is that I'm not bothered because I really believe they'd lose. And there's something wrong with that thought process to me. Maybe not. Okay. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
Fox says he doesn't care about playing in the All-Star game. Would that affect your vote?
100%. Yeah, we kind of talked about that earlier, but 1,000%. If a player says he doesn't want to play, look, the All-Star game is, a big honor. It's a money thing for a lot of these guys too. You see first-time players in tears when they make it. To be able to say that I'm a X-time All-Star, I mean, it goes right on your Wikipedia page. That's a big deal. But if a guy says, either I don't care about it or I'd rather have the time off or whatever it may be, I got to think right now in the Eastern Conference, for example, I'd be shocked if Joel Embiid played in the All-Star game. It sounds like he's really hurting. That's a guy that needs some time off. I'm gonna help them out and say, okay, cool. You give me any indication you don't want to play, I'm gonna honor that, and more importantly, I'm going to give that to somebody else.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't affect my vote because I think there's still the prestige, the honor, the recognition of the season the player has had, and whether there's a financial benefit. Then I think the player can then turn around and either tell the coach, hey, look, I just don't want to play. Can I play very few minutes? Or wink, wink, injury replacement. I have sore foot and
I hurt my
Didn't Fox play very little in the last All-Star game?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just
and Sabonis, by the way, it's an honor, but like
right.
I don't know. There's certain types of players that feel like all-star players and the only like super highlight type guys.
Yeah.
Like Sabonis had a bunch of great passes, which is fun.
Right.
But like in Jokic, I don't think he's a great all-star player.
100% agree with you. These are not the guy like Anthony Edwards is an all-star game player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
even Kevin Durant's kind of like, oh,
yeah, I don't think Curry and like Lillard are, with the exception they're going to shoot from like 40.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
That's
but
cool.
Like they're not going in there and doing these 360 windmills.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. I mean, honestly, from a straight up entertainment standpoint, I'd rather see Victor Wembanyama than DeMontis Sabonis.
That's
just
probably
from
true.
Entertainment standpoint. And the thing about Fox is this is really kind of on par for who he seems to be over the years. Like, and none of this, I mean, is any disrespect. In fact, it's kind of refreshing. Like, he didn't really do a lot of commercials. He's doing that Kaiser commercial, but I honestly think that's some sort of like inside deal with the Kings.
He said the same thing about Team USA. Like, honestly,
I'm fine.
Whatever.
It's okay.
Like if I make it cool, it's not me.
You're not seeing him. He's
not pushing for things.
No, and he doesn't like. You're not hearing. He doesn't really go out.
Yeah.
Kind of a family guy. Loves to play his video games. I feel like he's just like a normal dude who happens to be a basketball star who makes a bunch of money, but he doesn't. I really believe him that he doesn't care about any of that stuff.
Dork.
I mean, there's a deeper conversation about like, do you want your guys to be 100% obsessed with the game? And, would Kobe and Michael and all those guys? And I mean, there's a deeper argument there, but it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, go for it, my man. Number 3.
Question 3.
Is this the worst looking best Kings team of all time?
I think so.
100% what I was thinking about asking.
Yeah. Like they're a good team. They're the best team we've had since 2002. I'm talking about this year's team specifically, and this year's team is better record-wise than last year.
Shots thrown at 03 Kings.
That's a good point. But I don't remember being like, and I know that a lot of my anger comes with expectations. Like I'm getting less mad at my daughter making a mess in her high chair as I am with my daughter at 16, like spilling her soda all over the place because she's spazzing, or whatever. Like it's a different thing. With great expectations come great, something. I don't know how to fill that in. But this team has pissed me off all year long half the time because I feel like it's one thing if you're outclassed, if you're out-talented, if you're just not that good. Rudy Gay and Spencer Hawes aren't beating the, Tim Duncan Spurs. But there's just been so many times this year where I look at these guys and there's 4 words that keep coming into my head over and over and over again. You're better than that. You're better than that. You're better than this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're not, but I think they are. I think they're overachieving underachievers.
I couldn't be more confused.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I am too, because I asked myself, the internal self, like, Why are you so angry at these guys? They're a game better than they were last year, and you were over the moon. But again, it's because this is the eye test thing that I hate so much when people use it. I just look at the players,
Yeah,
and I'm like, you're better than this.
Well, I guess let me ask the expectations. And I never heard you say like this is a 60-win team. You never say anything like that. But that's a common thing thrown out this year. Expectations are different.
Yes.
Well, I feel like we haven't gotten to the point where the expectations matter, if that makes sense. Because I think the true part would be like if they won 60 and lost in the first round,
right?
I think we're all disappointed.
Right.
I think the end game is to get back to the playoffs and to go farther. So the road there, it might look better along the way, but we're not even to that point yet.
I don't think when it comes to expectations, when it comes to expectations, I thought this was a 50 to 55 win team, ceiling. They're right on pace for that. Mm-hmm. There's nothing telling me that they can't make the second round of the playoffs. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. But I think we're talking about, as we do all the time, the 50,000 foot and the ground floor.
Mm-hmm.
From 50,000 feet, this year's been fine. But from the ground floor, there's so many times it seems like where you have these weird slumps, weird losses, strange matchups. And part of it is because I watched this same team beat Minnesota in Minnesota, beat Oklahoma City twice, beat the Lakers, beat the Warriors, they have all these signature wins. It's like, I know that's who you are. And maybe it's my overconfidence. Maybe in my negativity, I'm actually being optimistic here. I look at this team and their signature wins and I go, that's who you are. Not the team that barely beat Memphis, not the team that lost to Portland, not the team that blew the lead to Phoenix. By the way, the team that blew the lead to Phoenix, Jason, they got the lead against Phoenix.
Right, played beautifully.
Beautifully.
Yeah.
That's who they are. And then they crap the bed.
And that's who they are.
And I go, no, that's not who you are. I do not.
You don't want them to be that.
I don't want them to be that, but I don't believe. Look,
but this is who they are.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have to acknowledge it is what it is. Again, but it may be what they are, but I truly believe they're better than that. I don't believe that they're playing above their heads when they beat these top teams. I believe they're playing below their station against these teams that they have these crappy losses against.
Okay.
Well, who knows? Sports Business with Kelly Brothers coming up next. We'll talk sports and we're going to talk some business. We'll do that with Kelly right after this.
The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite!
Join all of our shows. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Dials, and Watkins. And the Drive Guys as they follow their quest for a 6th Super Bowl title.
Pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead.
Sactown Sports is your home for San Francisco 49ers football.
San Francisco!
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
For a precision crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Someone somewhere may have told you that you can't mark your ball with a tee. Well, Golf Monthly's Jeremy Elwood looked into that. Since 2019, the definition of a ball marker is an artificial object when used to mark the spot of a ball to be lifted, such as a tee, a coin, an object made to be a ball marker, or another small piece of equipment. Urban Myth says that sticking a tee in the green is testing the surface, and they're pretty sure there's a rule against that. But if you think about it, sticking a tee in the ground tells you no more or less than what you'd learn from fixing 1 or 2 pitch marks on the green before you putt, and we all know we're encouraged to do that. To be fair, there is more of a chance of being asked to move the tee if you use one instead of a flat marker, as there's more likelihood of a ball being stopped or deflected with the tee. Not illegal, just inconvenient. By the way, the definition says it must be an artificial object, so don't be tempted to use a leaf, a twig, or a stone, as that will cost you a penalty stroke. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
Joining us now on Sports Sense, certified financial planner Kelly Brothers. Kelly is an advisor with Cap Trust, one of the nation's largest registered investment advisors. Cap Trust counts among its clients numerous pro athletes and pro sports franchises, but most importantly serves many Northern Californians through comprehensive financial planning. Here's Kelly Brothers.
All right, we are awaiting Kelly Brothers. Apparently, the storms are
wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think about that, Jason?
I hope that they don't last long. As much as we need the rain, I do like though when it rains overnight. I would prefer it that way.
Do you crack your windows?
No.
Well, then why do you like when it rains overnight? What does that do for you?
Because I'm not in it.
Oh, gotcha.
Sleeping. Like if it's 4 inches of rain or whatever, that's too much. But let's say 2 inches of rain and 1.5 inches of it is while we're sleeping. That's cool. As opposed to being out in it. Yeah. You brought an umbrella in.
I did.
That's a short walk.
I like to take
you have
walks.
a hat on.
Yeah. I
like to take walks.
I like to take walks during the break, get some fresh air.
Yeah.
And I should have, I think this week, at some point, the umbrella. I think
you got me?
It is. If it rains tomorrow, the next time it rains, whether it's tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to go.
Do you got me?
In the rain?
I'm going trench coat, umbrella, flat cap. I'm going full England, dude. Or full 1930s movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I'm fully prepared
You got
for
me?
weather.
Test 1, 2, 3.
You have a trench coat?
I do. I bought one before I went to England. I was super excited. I had the trench coat. I have a little gray flat cap. That's a Kangol turned frontwards for those of you. Yeah. Why? Wait. You're asking if I have a trench coat, implying I go around and wear a trench coat?
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't worn
What are
it.
you getting at?
I haven't worn it since I got back.
It says I'm in.
You haven't needed to.
That's a good point. Well, I'll wear it on the air.
Okay.
I'll wear it right on the air. I'll be like, content. We're vamping right now because we're waiting on Kelly. There's some issues going on there. Don't forget, Sam Amick will join us at 8 a.m. And he is. Well, I know he's good, but is he here? Is he with us? Is Kelly Brothers here? Yes, he is. Good morning, Kelly.
The storms, Dave. The storms. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Morning.
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Great. Thank you.
What is the echo? You hear the echo? We got an echo. It's fine. I can get over it.
Yeah.
But do you hear the echo, Kelly?
I don't hear any echo. You sound clear as a bell.
Okay, well that's fine then. You know what? We'll just roll with it. Kelly, a lot to deal with today, and I know that next week, echo's gone. This week we'll deal with what we're talking about, but next week I want to get into the Oakland A's a little bit, just a preview for everybody. But let's talk about the Super Bowl coming up. Kelly, I understand this may be wrong here, but they make a lot of money in commercials.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's a little more interested in the Super Bowl in Northern California these days, that's for sure. But it's just, it'll be they're saying in Vegas that the F1 was a dress rehearsal for the Super Bowl. That, you know, basically that's just kind of a warm-up act. To give you an idea of some of the ancillary money flying around because of the Super Bowl in Vegas, the Sphere. You guys have seen the beautiful Sphere.
Yes.
U2 has their residency. So they ordinarily for their packages they're charging or they're asking $450,000 for these ad packages where, you know, the NBA puts a basketball up or whatever it is. But for the week of the Super Bowl, it's $2 million. So that's what they're getting just to put up people's pictures and logos during Super Bowl week on the Sphere. And that's just for a limited amount of time. So the Sphere is doing well. They're also saying they're expecting over 1,000 private jets coming into the airports around Vegas. They're charging up to $15,000 just to park your private jet at some of these airports as all the fat cats fly in. But if you're going into the Super Bowl, come on, go in a few days early, stay an extra day. It's not a drop-in event. You know
Jason,
what I mean?
and you know this, I don't even know how we managed to do it, but just so when you see the Sactown Sports logo on the Sphere, that cost us $2 million.
Well, we did it. We did it. We made it happen.
We had a bake sale.
Yes. But Kelly, how about the other prices too? Whether it's hotels, whether it's tickets to the game, whether it's commercials in the game. I mean, this whole thing is just money, money, money.
Yeah, they're saying, you know, I think the average daily rate on hotels in Vegas during Formula One was like $510 a room. And for the Super Bowl is expected to be about $570, $580. But you're talking, you know, I think last I checked, it was about a $6,000 get-in price to buy a ticket on one of the secondary markets. And if you look at, you know, hotel packages, you know, for 2 nights, 3 days, maybe a little party beforehand, some little add-in, you're talking $12,000 to $20,000 to go down to Vegas. So, boy, you got to be a Niner fan to want that. And I got to be honest with you, I'm surprised that the Super Bowl is not a pay-per-view event because the money they could make is just absolutely unbelievable.
So going back to the fact that they got all the new room for the private planes and all that. Total look at me, Louie moment here, and I apologize, but there's another part of that. So I had the opportunity, Kelly, to go to one Super Bowl. Obviously, wasn't my plane, but got to fly on a friend's private plane. We came in from Cleveland. It was down in Phoenix. Landed in Phoenix. The Kings had played the night before against the Cavs. Land in Phoenix. We go to the Super Bowl. This is something I would have never known unless I had experienced that. So you have all these planes that are landed there. And then after the Super Bowl, every plane has like a 5-minute window to leave. And if you're not in that 5-minute window, you have to go all the way to the end. When you think about all the planes that are down there, for some reason, if it was traffic getting there from the Super Bowl, if it was you got held up, maybe one of your buddies is puking in the bathroom because he had too many Bud Lights, whatever it may be, you, in some cases, you're going to have these super Richie Doodle Pants people that are waiting hours and hours and hours until they can fly out. So we have to acknowledge the inconvenience for these poor people with their private planes, too.
So your friend, Dave, that you were with, do you call him a super Richie Doodle person? Is that what
I called him that to his face. Like, these guys just did. And the thing is, I wasn't even supposed to go. And then last minute, it's like, hey, we're going on this trip this week, and went and saw Kentucky and Alabama play at Rupp Arena Friday, Kings and Cavs on Saturday, and then flew into the Super Bowl. And so what am I going to do? Say no? I'm like, yeah, please. And so we go through, do all that stuff. And then that was the Patriots Seahawks, the one where they got the interception at the last minute. And but again, from the private plane standpoint, though, the windows are incredibly, like I said, it's like down to like 5 minutes, I think, per plane because they only have so many runways to get out, and everybody's trying to leave at the same time. You've got hundreds, if not thousands, of planes. So it's almost like, in a weird way, if you miss it, the Southwest people have better luck sometimes than the private plane people.
I was going to say, you were probably at a general aviation place. I mean, if you're at McCarran, you don't even get 5 minutes because there's Southwest and Delta and United ready to take off. So.
Yeah, the FBO is actually, I believe, in Vegas is at McCarran. A lot of times, like, for example, here we have Sac Exec and we have Mather that are your main private plane places. Although there's a private plane place that the Kings fly out of. But in Vegas, if I remember correctly, the FBO there is at McCarran, but it's so you've got the McCarran traffic and you have the private plane traffic. So it's going to be an absolute nightmare. Honestly, if it was me and I was Richie Richer Pants, I'm staying at the Wynn for a day, and then I'm staying at the Wynn Sunday night, and then I'm rolling out.
By the way, Dave, I have this is a controversial take, but I'll come through. This is a Sacramento take, not a sports take. But can you imagine if they took Executive Airport in South Sac and took that land? That's an amazing amount of land. What you could do in terms of housing, in terms of, that is so close to downtown, and it was built at a time when that was the only FBO in the area. But now you've got Mather, you've got McClellan, you've got other options, and that is valuable land, and it's still used for a few Cessnas to land there every day.
Well, if you really want to get controversial, I agree with you there. Let's start talking about golf courses too.
Whoa!
A lot of these courses ain't making money.
Hey, I know we got to go. I know your clock is up against it here, but I just have to point out the hypocrisy of the college sports system in that you got Mr. Dunlap here who won the PGA Tour event, right?
Yep.
And he has to turn down the money.
Yep.
At the same time, you have Ohio State offering millions in NIL to new recruits coming in, and other schools too. It's not just Ohio State, but they have really popped the money they're offering their recruits. And it is just straight up, hey, here you go, we'll give you a check if you sign. Yep. And yet this kid who actually goes out and beats the best in the world can't accept the money because he's quote unquote an amateur.
Yeah, that just seems like, I don't know if they could put it in save it for later, if there's some other way they could do this, because he may never win, Kelly, when he officially is on the tour. Like, I just think that's so backwards.
It is, and he has to jump. And matter of fact, what he should have done is, before he hit the last putt,
exactly,
he should have just said, I renounce my amateur status. I'm officially a professional, and hit the putt. Because he has to take it because he gets the exemption for 2 years, especially into the majors. I mean, this is his launch pad. You can't turn that down to go back and play for Alabama. But actually, in my mind, he should be able to do both.
Right.
Well, we were talking about this earlier in the week, how stupid it is, and the straight hypocrisy where you have the NIL deals, and this poor bastard has $1.5 million sitting there for him. And then on top of that, as Jason kind of brought up, okay, so give it to charity. Put it in a trust fund for the kid when he's done. Why wouldn't you put it in a trust fund for the kid when he's done in college? But instead, you give it to Xander Schauffele and the other ding-dongs behind him that are already multimillionaires. You split it between them. But, hey, that's reason number 745,000 why the PGA is screwed up right now.
Yeah, or just say, Dave, you know what? We are not giving him any prize money, but we are giving him a $2.5 million NIL package.
There you go. Yeah, and I think he'll actually. I know he turned pro. He missed the Farmers. He turned pro, so I think he's at Pebble Beach this weekend. Which will be nice and rainy, but I can think of worse places to play when you're a former amateur right out of college. But he's going to be broke.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right, guys.
All right,
well, hey, good to see. I'll figure out the technical storm situation here, and I'll be clear next week. I promise.
Hey, you know what? Stay safe. Batten down the hatches, Kelly, as we like to say here, and we'll talk to you soon. See you, buddy.
Best to your dad. All right, thanks.
Yes,
guys.
He's gonna love that. Thank you. We'll take a break when we come back. No, and okay, Kelly was not in the bathroom. Everyone, so just calm down. That would have been funny, but. Kelly's not in the bathroom.
He was in the shower.
When we come back, Kings Heat, we got post-game audio for you next.
NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown. CMC.
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The venue's set. Families coming in from all over. It's our quinceañera. With all the excitement, it may be easy to overlook COVID-19. It's still a risk, and that's why it's muy importante to get this season's COVID-19 shot ahead of time. It helps protect against COVID-19, which can cause severe illness and hospitalization. So let's set the date, vaccinate, and celebrate. Learn about a vaccine option and book this season's updated COVID-19 shot today at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda.
Get your sports fix. Live and vocal. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
We got to get to the Kings and Heat here. Sam Amick coming up in 15 minutes. But I just want to pause for a second and take care of some station politics here. So, Jason, you were kind enough, pull back the curtain here. For those of you who can see on YouTube, we have a nice Ziploc bag. I would say this is a quart freezer bag.
That's accurate.
Okay.
Accurate.
Of homemade Chex Mix. And you got like the Muddy Buddy style that's sweet. This is the savory, but you put your own special twist on it. There's some caramel corn in there. There's some
I mean, you say homemade. It's just other products that are I put it together.
Well, yeah, you didn't like bake the Cheez-Its, but you put everything together. It was very nice of you. It was a surprise yesterday, and we were been munching on this. Now, I took mine with me when I left yesterday, and I just left it in my car because this is going to be my snack for here.
Okay. Right? It's probably a better idea than what I.
So, Chris, you got a bag as well, and what did you do?
I put it on in the back area. There's desks and stuff like that. I kind of hid it at Simone's desk.
When you say hid it, please be specific.
So there's like
it was on the desk, pretty front and center.
It was on the desk, but if you're coming down like that walkway, like there, you can't see it.
Yeah.
But if you're in there, you can see it.
And you knew not to leave it in the control room. There.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And why wouldn't you leave it in the control room? Because somebody would grab it, right?
Yes.
So what happened with your bag of Chex Mix?
Well, I came in this morning, and it was one of those things that's just like, oh, guess I ate more of it than I thought I did. I didn't think I ate that much. When I had it, I think it was almost, I would say, a little bit more than 3/4 full.
Okay, and you came in today, and it was about how full? Quarter?
A little less than half.
So what do you think happened?
Well, I didn't even think of it. I just like, oh, I guess I ate more of it than I thought.
Okay.
Then I talked to our buddy Jason, and he.
And Jason, what did you find out?
Well, now that I say this, I know there were other people around there, so
Sure.
we think we know the culprit, but we don't know for sure. I just said I saw later in the day that there was a cell phone on that desk, and I thought, oh, Simone, it was like Kings game, like maybe 7:30 last night.
Was it
or
Simone's
7.
cell phone?
It was not. It was Kyle Ledbetter, who was here working the Kings game.
Okay, Kyle Ledbetter also, we know, is the guy that has admitted to picking the M&Ms out of the trail mix.
And just doesn't finish.
And literally, there's like...
I will say this. I saw this person in there take the raisins and not do what you're supposed to do and just throw them in the trash. He put them back in.
After touching them?
He had like a handful and he's just going like flicking them into the bag.
Wait, who was this?
Jason.
Jason Ross?
Ross.
Oh, you did?
I was throwing them away. I didn't put them back in the bag.
No, because then I looked at you. You're like, I just did that because I saw you were looking at me.
I didn't put them back in.
You put them in.
No, I threw them in the trash.
Oh, controversy.
Yeah.
Look.
Listen.
If it wasn't Kyle Ledbetter, I will happily apologize. So I'll say that in advance. But we have a workplace situation here. Now, the trail mix is for everyone.
Yeah, this was for you and for Chris.
Just because something's out doesn't mean it's for everyone. And in Chris's case, he actually put it on somebody else's desk and kind of mushed it in enough to where it wasn't like, hey, free for all. So we've got two choices here, and I think you're going to know which choice I want. Number one, we need to have an intervention and be like, look, dude, you can't just be rolling around randomly, because that's like grabs the sandwich in the fridge guy.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be doing that. That's option one, is to nicely confront the person and say, you're creating a uncomfortable work environment with my food. The second option, which I prefer, is not to say anything and to leave some Chex Mix out. But coat said Chex Mix in, I don't know, maybe some sort of liquid that is in no way damaging whatsoever, but will give you incredible gastrointestinal issues for the next couple of days. In other words, maybe you don't go that far. Maybe you take a video, for example. Would you guys be okay with this? You take a video. What if I took a video of Chris's Chex Mix? And what I did is I took the Chex Mix and I poured it down my pants. And then I walked around the office for a little while very carefully so none of it fell out. And then I scooped it out of my pants and I put it back in the Ziploc bag and we left it out. And then the next day when it's all gone, we show that person the video and be like, ew, you had all that Chex Mix? I believe in setting traps. I think that's how you truly teach the person. You set the traps. That's what I think. Who's this? Who's on the line one? Hello.
Hello, it's Simone.
Oh, hi, Simone. Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. I just want to let you know I was personally victimized by the Cookie Monster last week.
Please.
I had a cookie.
Okay.
Right?
Let me just reset for the audience here because this is breaking news. So Simone obviously works with us. You hear her on the midday show and all over the place. She also does a wonderful job in our promotions and is a wonderful catch-all for the station. We love her. Simone, can I divulge the personal thing I'm about to divulge about you as far as your living situation? Or no? Okay. So she is actually roommates with said accused culprits.
Yeah.
So that's setting the stage here. What do you mean you were victimized by the Cookie Monster?
Remember, we all had our crumble cookies.
I
our
do.
lovely
Last
sponsor,
Friday.
Yes. Join us. Yeah. And I'm back there producing for the midday show. And I didn't want to have I didn't want to eat the cookie and be touching all the buttons. So I was waiting till afterwards. And the cookie got eaten before I could eat the cookie.
Well, but of course you gave permission for that, right?
No.
So what we're dealing with here, almost certainly proving in your case, is we're dealing with a young individual that has not learned proper food etiquette when it comes to both workplace. Was this at the workplace or at home, Simone?
This is workplace. This was in the control room.
This is also the same person that likes to cook broccoli at your house, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So listen. I presented two choices. I want to know which one you'd go for. Number one, we confront that person.
All right.
Or number two, we don't say a word, but we set a trap. And by that, I mean, we take, let's say, for example, we took a nice, beautiful crumble cookie, right? And maybe I do something with the crumble cookie ahead of time. Maybe
I don't think HR is going to like this one bit.
Well, okay, that's a fair point, but I'm just speaking in generalities.
Okay.
So you're saying,
I hate it's taken this long for Simone to point this out to us.
That's a great point, man. We're pretty much screwed on this whole segment. I mean, turnabout's got to be fair play because it's basically like a prank at this point.
Sure.
I mean,
yeah, let's get together. I'm about to step into your office.
Yeah, let's strategize on
what
this.
if we find out what
Okay, I
he's
just had
eating
to
it?
call in. This is my first time calling in, by the way.
First time caller, long time listener.
Am I correct in
Yeah, exactly.
Am I correct in understanding, not to get too specific, that she may be a part of the program here temporarily very soon in the future for a day?
I think
yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're working on maybe her filling in next Friday.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a complete disaster class, but I am here for it.
Oh my God.
You're the one that's nervous about it.
I'm not nervous about
Well,
it.
you should
be. Great.
You should be very nervous. We take things very seriously.
Bye, fellas.
Bye-bye.
Morning, guys.
Oh, hey,
Love you guys.
Simone, one last thing.
What is your favorite station?
Yeah, what's your favorite station?
1025.
All right. And also, on top of all that, Jason, Kings lost to the Heat last night, breaking their 7-game streak.
And you were mad about it.
I was annoyed about it. I was like the old Domino's logo. I was annoyed.
Okay.
Sam Amick, when we come back from the Athletical trade deadline, his unplugged visit with Domantas Sabonis and maybe workplace food etiquette. I don't know. We'll get to it next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com. Why?
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text JUDGE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 42424. That's JUDGE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action. Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off. That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off. For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details. To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Welcome back. Sam Amick in just a moment. We'll take the first caller at 1-800-920-1140. Don't think we forgot about the Jiffy Lube drive of the game. How could we? All you got to do is listen, as you did last night. When G-Man says, that's your Jiffy Lube drive of the game, listen to Jason and Dave in the morning, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Let us know what the drive of the game was, and you will win a $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube.
Mm-hmm.
They've got you covered.
Yes. Perfect time. Make sure you got everything taken care of with these storms coming.
Oh, we've already got a lot. We've already got a potential winner. Who is this?
This is Ryan and Carmichael.
Carmichael Ryan, give us the Jiffy Lube drive of the game, please.
Well, it was getting late. G-Man was cutting it close, getting worried about it. But about a minute left, we had a bonus pass to HB, who finished with a little reverse layup.
So I'm just
a little too late, though.
I'm going to give away the suspense here. Honestly, when I came in this morning and I saw it's literally the second to last highlight, I was thinking G-Man was playing with fire last night.
He was.
That's why he's a pro. Let's see if Carmichael Ryan's right.
Keegan on the right wing and picks up the dribble, looks for Sabonis. Sabonis digs inside, drops it off. Nice little drop pass. Harrison Barnes on the reverse gets the 2. That'll be the Jiffy Lube drive of the game.
Look at that. Congratulations, my man. Thank you for
Well done,
listening.
Ryan.
You have got yourself a $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube. And hold the line. Chris will get you. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Okay. It's good.
Yeah.
Joining us right now at his convenience from The Athletic. We didn't even have time to do the thing. Yep. No hat. So he's already up. He's showered. He's got the hoodie on. Got the glasses on. It's Sam Amick. Sam, are the glasses mainly a morning thing? Because I haven't seen you in person in a while, and generally you were not a glasses person, like when I'd see you in the afternoons and evenings. So are you like morning glasses dad guy, and then you switch later, or are you kind of full-time glasses now?
It's the vision up close is awful, and y'all are close enough on the laptop that I can't see y'all very well, but thanks for putting my business in the streets, Dave, as I feel older.
You're on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can see you, dude.
I know, and making such a thing. It's a recent revelation that I keep telling people, that I convince myself it's not a product of age. I got a kid who's had glasses since he was 5, so that should make me feel better. But yeah, the eyes don't work like they used to, and hence the glasses.
Well, you wear them well, Sam. Let's
Yeah,
put it
you
that
do.
way.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it.
As we're talking to Sam Amick from The Athletic. Sam, you recently just wrote about the 65 game rule, which, is getting a lot of attention, certainly for what Tyrese Halliburton has come out and said. We know Joel Embiid's one of the front runners for the MVP, and that's at risk. What are you hearing? What's kind of the pushback from, the balance of the rest versus the rule? and where the league may go with this?
Yeah, I mean, it's become a huge topic very, very quickly. Like you said, Jay, with Embiid front and center. My opinion is I feel like is kind of evolving quickly. When they came up with it, I was very excited because I like seeing the best players play, and it seemed like between the rule and the incentives and all this stuff that guys like Kawhi Leonard were back on the floor again. So it had a lot of positives, a lot of pros, but man, all of a sudden I'm personally seeing the downside, which is, Joel Embiid is becoming the poster boy for this guy who is, on track to be an all-time great Hall of Famer. But because of the rule, I think what concerns me the most is that like he's only played 65 plus games twice in the 7 seasons that he's been able to play. So it's like when it comes to the history books, I know it's, I'm just using him as one guy, but like, are we comfortable having him essentially kind of disappear from the annals of NBA history after 2023, essentially, so it's not great. And I'm curious to see where it goes.
I want you guys to both follow me here. I'm just going to put you on the spot, but I know you both very well, and I know that you can answer these questions on the fly. And no, I'm not setting traps for you. Sam, I'll start with you. Sam, what would you say is a good benchmark in baseball for a player hitting home runs per year? Like to say they're really a power hitter.
I mean, I'm old school, so 30. I don't know.
30 or 40. Okay, great. How about RBI? You've had a really good year if you've had this many. 100. Yeah. Jason, in football, what how about for a quarterback, yards, to know that they've had a great year? How many would you say?
A good year, 4,000.
4,000. How about a running back or wide receiver touchdown score?
Double digits, 10 or more.
Double digits. Sam, you're a Giants fan like I am. You remember the great Barry Bonds years, right? When he broke the record and all that. The year he broke the record, how many home runs per game did he have?
Yeah, I know you're going down the per game road.
Exactly where I'm going.
Yeah.
Why is it in basketball? Because maybe that's the fix to this whole thing. Because I'm with you that it's a tough argument, but the best ability is availability. And if a guy can't play 65 games, I don't understand, unless it's like this crazy, overwhelming sequence of things, how he could be in consideration for really any award, but maybe we're thinking about it wrong. Why is it in the NBA we're going, he averages 30 points per game? Why aren't we going with total points? Why aren't we going with total assists, total steals? Wouldn't that make it easier for the voters? Take away the minimum game thing. Just look at total points for the year and all those stats and make your decision that way.
I'll push back like this.
Push.
I hear you. I'm pushing, man. Like I want the choice as a voter. I think this is what I slept on, and I now feel. I want the choice as a voter. It's fine. If I see that he played 62 games, guess what? I'm not going to vote for him. But I want the choice. And I think what happens is, for one, it's a little bit, it feels as a voter like, hey, guys, we are intelligent enough to figure out, who should be the guy and who shouldn't. And availability does matter a great deal. But the idea that it's off the table, literally, guys, unofficially, it was January 31st when Embiid, goes down again, and he's almost disqualified in early February.
Yeah.
So I think, I'm pretty good typically at seeing things from the other side. So if I am Adam Silver and I want to make money in the way that they do, and I want to add to the bottom line, we have dog appearance every week. Yeah,
that's good.
You now run the risk of removing. Hold, please.
You know what? Dog does not like Sam's argument whatsoever. That's the problem. Dog's like, Sam, you're full of garbage. You have the choice. You can look at everything, dude. You can look at total. Dog did not agree. Go ahead. Yeah, Dog's weighing in.
We can figure it out on our own, and you now took Embiid out of the conversation, so to speak, very early in the season. I think selfishly from the NBA standpoint, one of the concerns is that, tracking MVP, tracking who's going to get it, who's the best, is something we do until the end of the regular season. So now you just took the guy who was the front runner off of the list. I think that should matter for the NBA because Jokic overnight became the Vegas leader when it comes to MVP. So I'm not arguing that a guy who plays 60 games should get MVP. I just think one of the unintended consequences is that it changes the conversation halfway through the year.
Yeah, I feel like there's nuance too, right? I mean, like if he played 64 and misses by 1, that feels like a true crime. But if he ends up like natural causes, everything, and he's like he played 53, it's like, all right, well, that's different.
It sounded like he passed away, Jay.
I know. I'm sorry. But you know what I mean? Like where there's, but to your point though, Sam, let's say Embiid officially.
Super quick context.
Yeah.
Sorry for abruptly doing that. 66 games last year, he wins MVP. Lowest game total for an MVP since 1980. I voted for Giannis partly because of Embiid's lack of availability.
Yeah. You have the choice though.
You had the choice, and that's it. Like it just feels hollow that now it's like, oh damn, like that was a fun Embiid season that ended in January.
Yeah. Well, and look, this organization and him specifically, they want to win a title, and I don't know if they will, but let's say he officially gets below the threshold where if he played the rest, he's going to play 64. So because the number 65, wouldn't that then lend to him actually maybe resting more?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing is 100%. You're probably not going to see much Embiid down the stretch. I couldn't agree more. I said that the other day. Now, granted, they need to win games, and with Maxey being out right now, they're struggling. So, if they felt like they could be where they want to be in the standings with him resting, you're going to see load management, without any shame whatsoever. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
So I just everything that you both have said. You, Sam, talking about, and I agree with you. Now, if you take Embiid off the chessboard, that's a lot of content. That's a lot of clicks. That's a lot of fun that we all have as fans and media going over these arguments. You don't want to take away these conversations, but I just want to go back again. If we were to have a fundamental change on how we look at these things and we take away the 65 game threshold, why would anything change? Now, all of a sudden, okay, well, you can play in 40 games. If you're leading the league in points, for example, and rebounds and assists or whatever, we're just going to look at, in other words, if you go away from averages, which I think might be a little bit wrong and outdated, and you adopt the total points, much like you do in baseball or football, now all of a sudden, the lack of games is baked into the formula and trying to figure out these awards. So why don't we just do that and take away from everything else?
I mean, you're just talking about the way voters ultimately vote, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like that should be the conversation regarding how voters vote. That's different from disqualifying guys.
I agree. You shouldn't disqualify. I'm saying take away the disqualification, but you can bake in that 65 game or 60 or 40 by teaching and encouraging voters to get rid of. In other words, you award the scoring title to whoever has the most points.
Yeah, but it would never be someone playing 40 games.
It wouldn't. Of course. I mean, it could, I guess, but
I think if we consistently saw the list of scorers in total points versus per game, and we saw Embiid, like 20th on the list, that's going to change the way you look at it. I couldn't agree more. The other thing, and I'm curious, I know we probably want to get to other stuff here, guys, but how you guys see this is I am a bit of a sucker for like fairness historically, meaning for one, Draymond Green mentioned the other day, and I thought it was a very fair point, that he lost out one year to Kawhi Leonard for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
When Kawhi played 58 games. His point was, well, like now you have a before and after kind of history kind of demarcation line for the NBA, because Draymond Green would have been Defensive Player of the Year that year if this rule currently existed. That's not quote unquote fair. Again, I'm using Embiid as a poster boy, but Draymond is also the guy who I think kind of rightly said in the preseason, like, y'all are going to love the 65 game rule. And I forget how he worded it, but he basically said, until you have a bunch of all NBA teams with trash players. And, that's the extreme version of it, but all NBA is going to be really interesting. When you got some guys who don't really, feel like they belong there. I'm curious to see what happens, and I'll cap it with this. I looked into it yesterday. I don't think the rule's going to change, but just for the sake of knowledge for us, I guess, they can make revisions to the CBA. It's something that happens from time to time. As of yesterday, that was not being discussed, but you got Joe Dumars, now the executive VP of basketball ops for the NBA, granting interviews. He talked to Vinny Goodwill from Yahoo Sports today about the unintended consequences of a rule. So the conversation is shifting, and I'm curious to see if it leads to anything.
Just to cap your cap, I just want to finish the point with this.
No more
guys.
caps.
Your points per game leaders in the NBA: Joel Embiid, Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Kevin Durant. Those are your top 5. If you switch it to total, your scoring champion right now is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, followed by Giannis, Luka, Jokic, and Jalen Brunson. Just to give you an idea, Joel Embiid, as of right now, is 271 points behind Gilgeous-Alexander. I'll just say it again. Somebody find an argument that makes sense to me as to why Joel Embiid should win the scoring title if the season ended today over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That would be to me as asinine as saying that, Brock Purdy wins the yardage title because he averaged this amount of yards, but he played in 12 games versus Patrick Mahomes, who played in all 17, who passed for more total yards. That's what we're doing in the NBA. So again, I know I'm obsessed with this, Sam, but it's
fair.
We need to just rethink the way we do this because this is the better way to do it.
It is. I've had this conversation, not to this extent. It is. You're right on point. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking as a baseball guy, like my rudimentary maths, like with Bonds' 72 homers.
Right.
So is it? It's 0.4 per game. That was his history making mark.
Right. What are we doing? What in what world is that? How you? Oh well, he's getting 0.63 RBI per game. He's leading. Get out of here.
Another thing we'll be debating, I'm sure, after tonight, Sam, is the All-Star reserves, that there's going to be people left off, there's snubs. I think that also gets into another way that it's, how is this truly quantified? Can it be someone that's individually having a great year, but the team is in the bottom 5? So I don't know. As you look at it tonight, let's stay with the West, because I know Kings fans would be interested whether or not Fox and Sabonis, one, neither, both are going to make it. How do you think the reserves will shake out in the controversial All-Star reserve list?
I have admittedly not completely broken down things. I'm going to cheat while we talk, Jay, and pull up a piece that we had on our site about reserves if we feel like debating individual guys. For Kings purposes, obviously in the West, I'm wondering how that looks. If I had to handicap it, and I think you already said this, but head coaches pick the reserves. So you always have it's an interesting, different filter, right? Like you got to think like a coach, where like Rudy Gobert comes to mind. I'd be surprised if Rudy doesn't make the team. Coaches, players might be anti-Rudy a lot of times. Coaches are not, that type of thing. With that in mind, I think Sabonis will get in. Again, this is not reporting. This is just my own speculation. I would wonder about Fox for sure. He had a really poorly timed, not even a bad month. Just he went from like lights out for the first month to more mediocre the second month. I think given the guard landscape in the West and the idea that, in that story that I was going to reference, our John Hollinger gave his picks at the Athletic, and, he doesn't have Steph Curry as a reserve, which kind of tells you how competitive things are when it comes to guards in the West. I think Fox could pay a price there, although I do think he actually had Fox in. It'll be really, really interesting to see what happens tonight.
Hollinger's argument, I read the Hollinger article we were talking about earlier today. He actually had Fox in and had Curry off. And as much as I often disagree with John, I actually appreciate his argument here that Fox has better numbers for the most part than Curry. They're almost exactly the same after last night in points per game, but he's also on a much better team. But Sam, as Jason and I were talking about, no, they're not leaving Curry off the reserves, right? Like
that's where I think, the coach's point that I made. I don't know. It's hard, man. Like, I don't think so.
Right.
And I don't have all the numbers in front of me, but Jamal Murray's never been an all-star.
Yeah.
And Hollinger had him in as a wild card. And again, I think coaches are typically going to honor success, team success. And I think that's where the Steph one is so challenging because, he is an absolute legend in the game. And I think coaches are going to feel compelled to vote him in. But then his team is obviously way down in the standings. And a guy like Jamal Murray is a defending champion and deserves some of that recognition in his own right. So, we'll see what happens.
Sammy Amick from The Athletic. Sammy had a nice piece on Domantas Sabonis, who we just talked about, maybe named an all-star again tonight. Always curious when you get to write just the stuff you learn, stuff you don't even report on too. What was that conversation like with Sabonis?
Yeah, it was good. It's unintentionally, we've had this funny rhythm of I guess 3 years in a row now doing a more extensive interview this time of year, or at least at some point during the season. And I just, for one, he's a very enjoyable guy, even beyond basketball. He's fascinating when you talk about the history with his father and his family. And so what I loved about our talk was that kind of hybrid discussion about basketball, but also the lifestyle around basketball. He obviously got really deep into his training in the summertime with Doug Christie. When I had chatted with his agent, Greg Lawrence, about the story, he had shared some of this background and the idea that despite the fact that Sabonis was coming off the best year of his career, I voted him 5th in MVP last year. He finished 7th. There's fantastic stuff for him individually, that he went into this summer and attacked it in not only a different way, but a more meaningful way, I think, than maybe ever before. And so that spirit of never settling, always trying to get better was something I was curious to learn more about. But the guy is incredibly serious about his craft. I admire what appears to be a really kind of unique ability to also balance that with his family life, which I think the three of us can relate to. No matter how much money you make, you still have humans that you're sharing your life with and trying to make it work. And he, at the end, I think it's in the article, he talked about how his dad never brought work home, and that it's something that he has done with his family. And it seems like he's really strict about that. If his wife wants to ask him about a game, that's fine. But I'm not coming home, asking, wondering about Mike Brown's rotations. Enjoyed quite a bit getting to connect with him.
There was I think it was a mention in there about his off-season diet and what he found. He took a test, and there were some foods that he just didn't work for him, like pasta, Italian food, which he loves and all that. Now he's basically the same weight, but absolutely no body fat whatsoever. Sam, in talking to him, did you just get the sense that he's just a focused, motivated dude at peace? Because that's what your article kind of gave off, I thought.
Yeah, he seemed that way. It's funny, though, too. Admittedly, I have not. It's funny. Sometimes you get feedback on stories. Sometimes you don't. I have not connected with him or anybody with his group since the piece. And I know him well enough to know that, when I choose to start an interview and a column with, Domantas Sabonis is slightly paranoid, which I did and proceeded to explain. I there was a small part of me that was like, all right, I hope he reads the whole thing and understands the point that was getting made. The paranoia is, like you said, he's a guy who's at peace, but he's not settled when it comes to the NBA. He has a bit of a paranoia about, what if it all fell apart? It's not quite imposter syndrome by any means, but it is a desire to make as much impact in the NBA as possible and appreciate the chance he has. And I think it's born out of, and this is, you get a little bit deeper here, but his dad was an all-time great and a guy who for so long, the NBA crowd wanted to see Arvydas Sabonis play in the NBA. And he was a mythical figure overseas. Now, the Soviet Union wouldn't let him come. You had government restrictions and kind of wartime, Cold War type stuff. That was something his dad was up against. Then he had injuries that kept his dad from coming to the NBA. So I think Domantas, with all that context, looks at the NBA as a real privilege and something that his dad didn't get to experience as much as he wanted to. And I think that's kind of the root of it.
Sam, we are now 1 week away from the trade deadline, and seemingly, I mean, you're more tapped in than we are, but it seems very, very quiet. At least rumors and some of that stuff. Is that the same sense you're getting right now?
Yeah. I mean, yes, I think there's plenty of conversations, but there's just not. We've talked the last couple of weeks, like the names have shifted a bit. I think I shared a few last week, but haven't heard anything developing from there. I was at the Warriors game the other night and chatting with people about good old DeJounte Murray still being like the number one guy on the list and whether it would be Lakers or maybe Brooklyn. There's not a ton of movement. There's plenty of people kind of denying certain ideas. I saw, Jimmy Butler chatter that his agent jumped on Twitter to kind of smack down. So yeah, relatively quiet. I think like always, last couple of days will heat up, but we're still kind of in waiting mode.
Who are the Kings going to trade for specifically?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to. Can we just keep it between us?
Yes. Yes.
Giannis has put a request in, and
yeah,
he prefers the Kings.
He loves the weather out here. Do we have to take Thanasis though?
Yes. I wish there was another Giannis. I was gonna have the punchline be it was a different Giannis.
Oh, you're talking about Giannis Smith. Yeah, Giannis Johnson. In a broader view, and kind of building off what Jason asked, we talked about this the other day, Sam. Last year is like, oh, they got to make a move. They got to make a move. They got to make a move. And, it was Kessler Edwards. No offense to him, but that's a very peripheral move. And who knows? Maybe tomorrow breaks and Kings have traded God knows who for God knows what. But you kind of get the chance that in Monty's brain and in that front office, there's the whole like, they have on a whiteboard somewhere, like sometimes the best moves you make are the moves you don't make or something like that.
No, I think their whiteboard probably has 30 names on it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think that kind of sentiment is sometimes there. I mean, they continue to be talked about as a team that has got to do something. Now, I do think quietly they dropped the game to Miami. I watched that game. Fox had a tough night. That to me was kind of the X factor in that game. But by and large, they've been playing better recently, and you see some of the offensive rhythm. I haven't crunched the numbers, but it feels like the offense has found some of its identity again. And I do think that I keep having to remind myself that while their story took such an uptick at the end of last season with how well they played late in the regular season and the Warriors series, like by this point last year, this is kind of when they started finding their stride and became a good team. They were somewhat hit and miss before this point on the calendar. And if you guys disagree with that, let me know. But I feel like, they might be finding something here even without a move.
That is Sam Amick of The Athletic. Tune in to Sam here. And of course, any old podcasty stuff he does when he cheats on us. Also read his work, read him on Twitter. And as we get closer to the trade deadline, we always have kind of an unspoken rule with Sam. If we get something crazy, obviously he comes on every Thursday, but if something crazy goes down and he's available, we'll have him on as soon as he possibly can to break that down for us. So we appreciate you, buddy. And I'm a huge fan of me giving you column ideas, and you never use them, but let's
a couple times I think I have.
You have actually, not counting the cushy poker player thing. That doesn't count. Let's just do a deep dive on. In fact, let's do a back and forth, Sam. Let's do a Q&A on total points being the points per game award instead of averages. I'm gonna carry the flag on that thing, man. I think
I might not write a column about it. I might. This is a shameless plug. I'm going to steal it from since you just generalized my podcast life here with your disparaging. Man, can I get a plug on here? The Tampering Podcast, part of the Athletic NBA Show Network. I'm literally recording right after this. So I will be giving you a shout out on the Tampering Pod and talking about your revolutionary idea here.
It's revolutionary.
Think, you might be onto something.
I think the Carmichael Dave Points Award leader is what you would actually name it. They put it on the trophy and the whole thing.
Okay.
So ask Adam, where he's not going anywhere.
That's right.
For a long time.
Yeah.
You're the best, Sam. Thank you. You can go play with your dog now.
Thanks, guys. Be good. Have a good day.
Thank you.
That's Sam Amick. We're way late for a break. When we come back, 4 down territory. We're going to ask some football questions, and we have a breaking news story in football as well. A real breaking news story. We'll get to that next.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
When the unexpected happens, trust AutoAccident.com. Loyalty and compassion set them apart. They're with you every step of the way. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Hobler Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the hot new Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke line of drivers, fairways, hybrids, and iron sets that are sweeter from every spot. AI Smoke is designed with thousands of real player data and a revolutionary new AI Smart Face for sweet spots across the entire face. Ask about the full line of Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke woods and irons and find your sweet spot at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Join comedian Eddie Griffin for a night of laughs at Hard Rock Live on Saturday, April 13th. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. That's Ticketmaster.com.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
The more I think about it, I think we just solved the 65 game problem on this show.
I don't.
You don't? What would be your pushback
for
going to total instead of averages in the NBA?
The pushback would be on every category. Then you're doing that.
Well, I would say
you have to, right? What's the mean?
Well, in baseball, you have batting average, you have earned run average. So I guess we'd have to have a deeper conversation about what, if any, like maybe
there's an ERA leader, but someone's allowed less runs.
Right. So you've got like a couple,
but we've just kind of picked this. This has been the way. Now it doesn't mean it can't change.
Sure. I'm mainly talking about points.
Scoring
rebounds,
title seems like it should be the most points.
Rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. I would put total. Free throw percentage, field goal percentage. I mean, I don't even know if there's awards for that, but field goal, free throw, 3-point percentage. I'm sure we can think of others, but I would be looking for logical. Somebody has to tell me why it's more logical to go average than it is to go total points to award awards at the end of the year for points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. Those are the main 5.
Right.
When we don't go by, when we look at the turnovers, we don't go by turnover average. We go by, this guy led the league in turnovers. What? I
think maybe back in the day, which, I mean, it's a different time, the difference of playing, if Michael Jordan played 82 games, and Dominique Wilkins, let's do it the other way. Dominique Wilkins played 82 games and Michael Jordan played 79. Dominique might win because he played 3 more games.
Yeah.
Now, per game, it was Jordan.
Sure.
I mean, that's the argument.
Yeah.
But now we're talking about the difference of, okay, I mean, in theory, like, I don't know if he'd be the best example, but Harrison Barnes plays all 82. And if he was consistently, back when he was scoring closer to 20 a game.
Yeah.
And if he played 82 and Embiid, I don't know what the difference would be. And Embiid at 65, but is Harrison Barnes a better scorer than Joel Embiid?
Well, I would flip that back to you and say, okay, so let's say Buster Posey hits 40 home runs and Mike Stanton hits 30. Mike Stanton played in 3/4 of the game, so Mike Stanton's home run per game is 0.5 versus Posey's 0.4. Well, you're not going to give an award to Stanton. In baseball, we're giving it to whoever hit the most home runs. And if somebody finishes behind that person, we see it every year. Somebody finishes behind and because they missed 12 games, 20 games. That's how we award that, and that's the same thing we do.
It's the way it's been measured.
How do you
That's how we do it in football.
How do you award pitchers?
With the pitchers, it's total. That's what we were talking about earlier with averages. So you've got like ERA, but you have total wins. You don't have wins per game. You have total strikeouts. You don't have strikeouts per game.
But I think those are all things that are fairly recent to baseball, where they do talk about that.
Where they talk about what
how many strikeouts per 9 innings? How many?
They do, but like your wins leaders are total. Your strikeout leaders are total. Now, when we get into the analytics and statistics, we can now access those numbers. But you and I, we all know that when they're looking at SI, they're looking at total wins, ERA, strikeouts, maybe WHIP.
Yeah.
But they're looking at a lot of totals.
Yeah. Where I do agree where your totals argument will help is back to what I told you might be a problem on the rest. Like, hey, to get to 65 games, if Joel Embiid was at 64, we're at game 82, but it's also important to rest if he just does the jump ball and then fouls and goes out.
Taking that, yeah.
And a lot of guys won't do that because it hurts their overall average. Well, if we're not worried about average,
then you're not worried about it.
Yeah, but then he plays the 65 and he gets he won't win the scoring title, because he didn't play enough games. But you'd also go, man, he still could win MVP because you're like, look at what he did. Kind of on a per, and then you go back to the per game,
and you'd still have those numbers available for argument,
right?
But I just have a hard time believing if the NBA went to the Players Association and said, "Guys, you know what? We have a compromise.
Yeah,
we can't have players forcing themselves out there."
I don't know why they started this way, but they did in the sport.
It's honestly something I've never thought about before, but makes now in the guise of the 65 games thing. Now all of a sudden it makes a little more sense. Anyways, we got.
I would say that's a lot better than your 9-3.
Oh yeah,
then you're 9-3.
Ninth down and
3.
Yes, okay.
That one never caught on.
I never caught on. It's weird.
Yeah.
4 down territory right now, please. By the way, breaking news: Dan Quinn is now your head coach of the Washington Commanders. That's what we were talking about during the break. Dan Quinn goes from the Seahawks to the Commanders. That's a cross-country flight. Hope he's okay. Christopher Lott, first down.
What do you think of the Seahawks hiring Ravens DC Mike McDonald to be their new head coach?
I'm not going to be a morning radio guy, go through the stats I just read 30 seconds ago about Mike McDonald like I know something. I do know this. The Ravens defense is pretty sick. And he was in charge of that. And I do know that the Seahawks have done pretty damn well in the draft loading up that defense. They're not Legion of Boom level yet. But I think that's kind of where they're going. They've got DK Metcalf. They have Tyler Lockett. And honestly, Kenneth Walker III, I think, is an underrated running back when he's healthy. Geno Smith is a bridge quarterback. I don't think he's the future there. But I think they're looking to get back to their defensive ways. And now they have a young gun coming in that's hopefully going to help them kind of mold this defense into something elite.
Yeah.
I get it. I like the decision.
Again, a lot of these teams are thrive on their quarterback play. I think they need improvement there. Geno's done a nice job, but they got to keep developing, keep getting better players around him. But made a switch. They go from the oldest coach to the youngest, so we'll see what that does.
Second down.
Which Super Bowl is the first one that you remember?
That would be Montana and the Niners over the Bengals. 81. I barely.
81 season into 82. Yeah.
Barely remember. I mean, like, I've said it on the air before. I remember they rolled the credits and I went under the stairs and started crying because the football season was over and I couldn't handle it. Like, that's my biggest memory of that. Probably the real one would be what, 84? I think that one I remember pretty well. But 81's my very first Super Bowl memory.
I do remember. I think it was a couple years before that. Rams and Steelers, maybe 79.
Okay.
Somewhere around there, 78, 79.
Yeah. Was that were those Super Bowls yet, or was that the NFL championship? I didn't read it. I'm sorry. Don't touch the chest, Miss Kyle. Third down.
Do you have a favorite Super Bowl halftime show?
Michael Jackson. Prince is right there for me. Prince, a lot. The rain. It was insane. Michael Jackson, LA Coliseum, the multiple Michael Jacksons coming up at different corners of the stadium. Where is he? And then something you can go watch on YouTube that I think is just awesome. The whole thing, it's the Super Bowl halftime show. And then when Michael pops up and he just holds the pose and puts his hand up to his glasses, the discipline to hold still and to have the audience in your hands like that for the length of time he did.
It's like a thriller.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And then
it's Michael Jackson because he didn't do anything.
I love
it. Was to hold the pose
because he did nothing. No, dude.
That Prince though. There's a bunch of good ones. Honestly,
the LA one a couple years ago was.
Which one? Yeah, I like that.
Oh, the
hip-hop,
Dr. Dre.
Hip-hop. Yeah,
that was fantastic.
I like that.
I like the Coldplay one.
Where did Lady Gaga go? Remember when she jumped out?
The Coldplay one where they were hardly in it.
That was so weird, dude.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
Beyonce.
Bruno Mars is really good. Beyonce was really good too.
Yeah, that's the Coldplay.
I think Michael and Prince are the two. You know, Timberlake and Janet Jackson was. People forget it was actually a good halftime show until here's my booby. But up until then, it was a good show.
I happen to have watched that Super Bowl with our pastor in the room.
Oh, it was awkward.
Oh, you know that's how like YouTube got started, or was it Google Images? It was something
Was it that?
It was because everyone was trying to look for that picture.
Janet Jackson should get a piece of that. That's for sure. So you're Prince?
Yeah.
All right, Prince Ross. Fourth down.
If we had the money to put in for a Super Bowl commercial for this show, what we do is strategically, when would you want the spot to air?
I would want it to air as the last commercial before kickoff.
Okay.
This is always like, dude, because you don't know how the game's going to go. Everyone's watching this.
I think he went the first quarter.
No one misses kickoff, do they?
People looking for commercials, I
So
think.
what would the commercial be?
Black screen. So we get 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Black screen for 28 seconds.
No audio?
Nothing. Like Sopranos.
This is the Michael Jackson
black
commercial.
screen
We
for
hold.
28 seconds.
We pose.
No, there's
we're holding visually. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, and then what?
And then the last 2 seconds, it shows us all, and we go, Sactown Sports 1140, and then fade to black. Everyone's talking about it.
Millions. Well.
People are thinking that see, the thing is, it's not about the commercial. It's about everybody talking about how they thought their power went out, something was wrong. They're turning on off the television, and you're getting all the extra mentions.
But what if we miss, like when people like hitting their TV or unplugging it, because that's a long time before, and then the 2 seconds. But people will search to see what
That's
happened.
exactly
I
what
think you need a
happened.
celebrity.
Fine, you get George Wendt.
Norm! George Wendt. That's
Why
it.
not? Why you get? Because here's the thing: everyone knows him, and he's
Yeah.
not doing anything.
Yeah.
You're gonna get him cheap because we blew all our money on the spot.
Yeah.
Here's George. What was with that George Wendt commercial?
Yeah, and he just screams Sactown Sports.
Yeah, Sactown Sports 1140. And then you have a whole crowd go, "Hey!" Like Norm, and then that's it. That's your 2 seconds. Genius and brilliant. And then you go, they should go to averages and total points in the NBA. Set the screen. We'll come back. Who's hot, who's not? We'll recap 3 in the key for the Kings and Heat. Don't forget, we got PBR tickets to give away too, along with a Crossy Talk with Styles and Watkins coming up towards the end of the program. Don't go away. We're right back.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
It's time to buck up Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster. Get your tickets for a weekend of non-stop bucking action this February 2nd through 4th.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of Sactown Sports 1140's road trip to Vegas for the big game. For all the latest game news to all the celebrity interviews from Media Row to all the festivities going on during game week, Sactown Sports has it all covered, just like Jiffy Lube, the place to go before you go on your next road trip. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
Welcome to a brand new year filled with limitless possibilities at Kia of Vacaville. Prepare yourself for an extraordinary driving adventure as we present our impressive 2024 vehicle lineup. Step into the future with state-of-the-art technology, groundbreaking features, and the sleek design that has become synonymous with Kia. Immerse yourself in the dynamic performance of the all-new Kia Sportage, where captivating design meets exhilarating power. Experience the fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that extends your journey with every mile. Indulge in the sophistication of the Kia Telluride, seamlessly blending luxury and versatility. Don't overlook our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, ideal for those who prioritize efficiency without sacrificing style. If you're in search of the EV9, Kia of Vacaville has it in stock or available for delivery. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and cruise into 2024 with confidence and style. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets the road. Elevate your drive, elevate your year. Model availability and features may vary. Please see the dealership for details.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not? It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Hey, Chris.
Jason.
Who's hot?
Keegan Murray.
Yeah? That Keegan Murray?
That Keegan Murray. Is there another Keegan Murray?
How hot is he?
Keegan Murray, he had 33 points last night on 12 of 18 shooting. Also 7 of 11 from behind the arc to go along with 5 rebounds and 2 assists.
I was arguing with Chris Watkins down the hall. Yeah. He doesn't like the idea.
He doesn't.
He says, you can't do that. You can't say, De'Aaron Fox is leading the NBA with.
You had your recorder with you?
2,100.
Sounds just like Chris.
He isn't. He says, no, it's just not how we've done it. But that's not how we've done it. Is not a.
That's always the worst argument.
Agreed. I mean, he'll come on here and we'll argue some more. They should actually come in. They probably can't because they're prepping.
They have to work on their show that's coming up.
They should come in at 9:27 and do the whole last half hour because I want to talk to Alan about the A's thing, and I want to argue with Chris about the points per whatever thing.
Go ask him.
No, there's not.
Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, right.
They lost again to Miami. That's
again,
5 in a row.
Yeah.
Also, they're 5-31 in all games
against Miami.
Yeah. In Miami.
Yeah. Why is it like the whole?
I got a text from Chris.
What?
I can't say it on the air.
Okay. Why is it that we just don't like? Even if it's not true, can't we just say that it's because it's Miami? Why are we so easy on these guys? Like, why can't we just say, well, if you're 5-31 in Miami, that, by the way, that has to be their worst. Like, that's worse than they are in Atlanta. It's got to be. That's got to be their worst winning percentage of any place they've played. Is that just because Miami's good? It's not the altitude. These guys, I want to know what.
I mean, but Miami's been consistently good, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but so have a lot of teams.
Like the Hawks haven't been consistently good.
No, but has Miami been as consistently good over the last, what is that? So that's 36. So that's 18 years. Exactly,
no,
right?
36 years. They played there once.
No, but I thought, I'm sorry. That was for in Miami, not overall. I apologize. Okay, so 36 years. God damn, they've been around for 36 years.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I think they missed them even once, maybe in one of those, bubble years.
They were an expansion team at one point.
They were at one point.
Certainly weren't good then.
But that's also when the Kings were winning one road game. One.
I got to think Philly's up there too. Is like worst place
probably
to play. Boston's probably in there. But like
Milwaukee, Portland's been bad for the team.
As we said, Atlanta, Madison Square Garden. I know we've gotten a couple, but MSG is pretty bad.
Also remember, by the way, there's 9 winning seasons in Sacramento Kings history out of 39.
Yeah.
9. So it's not like this team has been thriving through the bulk of it.
That's true. I just hate it.
Okay.
I don't like it. But you know what? Move on. Right?
Okay.
You got to move on.
Yeah.
There's always tomorrow.
There is. And they're at Indiana. Another game. Look at that. Pacers, Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton, Domantas Sabonis. Storylines aplenty.
That game's going to make me even angrier.
No, you're good. You said just get one more win, remember?
Yeah, but you should do that against the Pacers. You have to get them back. And Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh, so now they have to get that game. I thought it was just that they got the Bulls. It'd be good. We already recorded it.
I would, I'd like to give it back to Tyrese in his home court, at his home court.
Okay.
After he was like, posing like the Titanic girl all over the place in Gold One Center.
So then they could lose to the Bulls and the Cavs and you're good.
Well, let me ask you this. I will tell you this. They go 1-1 against the, I'll tell you right now, they're going to go 1-1 against the Pacers and Bulls.
Okay.
Who do you want them to beat?
Pacers.
Me too. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I will tell you they're going to go 1-2 the rest of the road
Pacers.
trip. Yeah, same.
They've already beat the Cavs, so they'd split. They still play the Bulls here.
Fine with that.
Yeah. Fine with that? Are you sure?
If they
then you'll go, they've lost 3 of their last 4.
If they beat the Pacers and they lose to the Bulls, losing the Bulls would be dumb, but I'd be like, well, at least they beat the Pacers. And then the Cavs are a really good team.
Would you?
Well, we'll find out when you tune in then. Let's recap 3 of the key from last night. Miami and Sacramento. Chris Watkins, he is wrong. He doesn't have a good argument. I just made that up top of my head. Hey, what do you text you?
Can't say it.
Can't say it. Wow. He invited me to vacuum something. I will not.
Okay.
How'd we do last night? Oh, now he's texting me.
We asked for predictions on Domantas Sabonis.
Domantas Sabonis.
Career high 26 rebounds in the last game he had played.
He texted me a heart.
Davey said 13.
That's right.
I said 16.
Wait, the hand one?
Yes.
I think that's not a heart.
Looks like a heart. Okay, sorry. Sabonis.
You said 13?
Yeah.
I said 16. Chris said 14. He had 17.
I win. You win.
You lose. Whoever said you were, I am.
Who are you? Are.
I am.
You are. Jason Ross. Jason wins. But Jason is averaging 0.2 wins per show. That's how we do the awards now.
Fox points and assists. Davey said 31 and 8.
Yeah,
I said 33 and 5.
Yeah.
Chris said 28 and 6. He had 13 and 5.
So,
Chris wins.
Really? Does he?
Yes.
That seems hollow and empty.
Way
much
better
like my
than
marriage.
us. His averages are good.
Yeah, that's true.
Then random stat. You said Mike Brown would win a challenge.
Was there even a challenge?
No. Well, the game.
Yeah, winning was the challenge,
Yes.
and they lost it.
I said the Kings would hold their second straight opponent under 100 points. 115 is not under, is it?
It's close.
Yeah.
Like, and a difference between like 100 and 1,000, you were really
I was
close.
really close. But I did not get it.
It did not.
What a dumb, stupid call.
Yep. And then Jaime Jaquez Jr. is what Chris Verlaud said would get 15 points or more. And the lovely and talented Jaime Jaquez Jr. scored 8.
Good job, Keegan.
Yeah, Keegan locked him up.
When I see somebody tweet, like, if you told me Jaime Jaquez Jr.'s played for the Heat for 5 years, I'd believe you. He just looks like... By the way, have we ever seen Jaime Jaquez Sr.? Do we know anything about him? Was he a basketball player?
I believe he was.
Yeah?
Yeah.
His sister's a
He
basketball
played
player.
in Southern California. College basketball.
Jaime Jaquez Sr.'s sister or Jaime Jaquez Jr.'s sister?
Junior's sister. She's on the Bruins.
She's on the Bruins? Okay. Look at that. Future's in good hands with the Jaquezes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which would be more... I think Jaquez is more fun than Jaquez.
Yeah.
Right?
The Ha.
Ha. That's like a fun name.
And
with
with
the Jaime.
Yes, perfect.
Like if it was Jamie Jaquez Jr.
Yeah.
Oh my God, though. What if it was Jaime Jaquez Jr.? That would be like the best.
Yeah. You can make it that.
Can I?
Yeah.
From now on. Oh,
No.
can I? Am I allowed to? It's,
Well, you're changing the other rules.
We're going to need hurling for the other
You're
rule.
changing the scoring rule.
Hey, you know. Chris, what is junior in Spanish? Is it junior?
That sounds about right.
Is it? I'll look it up. Well, if it is, then I'm being grammatically, whatever. We'll take a break when we come back.
Grammatically, whatever.
Yeah. Niners at 9. Hey, we've got Super Bowls, 7 of them. Let's rank them, and I know what the bottom 2 will be.
Hey.
We'll talk about that next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hubble Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls, offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Part of the program. Jason, sometimes you just, you are the funniest person in the world.
Man.
I mean, you really,
I got myself.
Sometimes Jason something will just squeak out, and it's really, really funny. By the way, last night after the game, it's one of my favorite things to do, and I'm only going to say it on here so the people on Twitter can't see it. There's a picture I got years ago that I've always saved. It's a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, which is, if you don't know, it's a Kentucky bourbon that is like insanely hard to find, and it's super duper expensive, right? Like thousands of dollars, right, Chris? Like really expensive.
That much. And I want to say it is Anthony Bourdain that kind of made it
big,
a thing, because before it used to sell for like $75 to $100.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like you can't get it. It's almost like a status symbol amongst bourbon people. Well, it's well known to anybody that knows me. I don't drink. But
somebody references it in a movie.
Pappy Van Winkle? Or are you thinking of Popeye?
No. I'm feeling Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, but not Wedding Crash.
Certainly not Swingers. Owen wasn't in that.
Glenn, any Glenn will do.
The Internship. The Interns,
Well,
Internship.
I'll just try
maybe?
here, Vince.
I don't know. Anyway, when you said that name, I'm not a drinker as well, but I felt like I heard that.
Let's see, Vince Vaughn and Pappy Van Winkle.
I could be making this up.
It could be.
Yeah, the internship.
The internship. Yeah, about ordering Pappy.
We need this sale. I am so confident that we're going to close this thing. I'm going to order the Pappy Van Winkle. I know it's pricey, but I want to spiritually invest in our success.
Vince Vaughn in the bathroom doing
Yes, apparently. Wow. Okay. Anyway.
No.
So you posted the picture.
It's a very good poll. So I posted a picture, which I got offline like years ago, and I just save, and I do this like once a year. And I just simply say tough loss, and it's a picture of the bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, about half full, and there's a glass next to it that looks like it's filled with some sort of Pepsi or Diet Coke.
Okay.
And you know, Pappy Van Winkle. And let me tell you, dude.
You don't do that.
The triggeration.
Did it happen again last night?
Oh my God, Jason. This is gonna anger the bourbon crowd. Hold on, just because it was a tough loss doesn't mean you have to punish the bourbon with a Coke. Nah, what the hell? How'd you get that? I'm not even a whiskey guy, and I've heard of that stuff being impossible to get.
But it's there's less of that, more offended that.
Please don't tell me you mixed it. Yeah, people they lose their sense. It's like putting ketchup on Wagyu. Yeah, so that's like a big insult.
Okay.
It's kind of like what Alan was talking about yesterday, like fruit in the beer, but that's like worse.
Okay.
I will say this. If you were to go, if it was you and you were to buy Pappy Van Winkle, and you decided that you thought it would taste better with Diet Coke, then you should drink it that way.
Exactly.
Because you bought it, it's yours.
Yep.
You should enjoy it
It's
how
your
you want
choice.
to. Would I do that?
No. I want to agree with you because I feel like that's the nice thing to say for you. But then if I do see somebody
So like if you offered that to me, I
Yeah.
could get the hell out of here. What is wrong with
Right.
you?
But then if I agree with what you said and I go with it, again, that seems like the nice thing to say.
Yeah.
That means that if I'm sitting with a buddy and we're having a couple of nice ribeyes or New Yorks and he's just douching it with Heinz ketchup,
but that's the way they like it.
I can't bitch at him for it.
See, like the other thing was like, if say that's the type of bourbon you like, it's like, oh, I need a Diet Coke and whiskey. I wouldn't give you my best stuff.
No, God, no. But my wife's the bourbon person. She knows all about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
She does, what is it? Bullet and ginger ale or Woodford and ginger ale.
Okay.
That's her thing. It tastes like window cleaner to me.
Hmm.
People pay a lot of money for it.
Paying for the inside.
1982. The 49ers beat the Bengals 26-21. I believe that was Montana over Kenny Anderson.
I think you're right.
I think so.
In Detroit. Pontiac
Silverdome.
Yes.
Which is like one of the greatest names for, I don't know why.
Yeah, that one stuck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I got to think they still probably call it the Silverdome, even though it's not
no.
anything silver about it. 1985, 38-16 over the Dolphins. This one I probably have the least, and this was Montana Marino.
Yeah, in Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford Stadium. So it was up until.
Was Marino a rookie or a second year guy?
I think he was in his second year. I think he was drafted out of Pitt in 83.
Okay.
Yeah, class of 83 with Ken O'Brien.
Yeah, it was the 84 season, 85 Super Bowl. Okay.
I don't have a lot of memories about this other than A, the Niners won, B, they won pretty comfortably, and C, I think up until, Tampa Bay, I think this is the closest anybody had to a home Super Bowl, even though it technically wasn't,
Right.
but, Palo Alto versus South San Francisco, where Candlestick was. 20-16 over the Bengals is the one I very much remember. That's John Taylor, 94 seconds.
Yeah. Joe Montana story with John Candy, right?
That's absolutely right. That was Super Bowl number 3 for Joe Montana. And then one of my dear friends is a Broncos fan, and I never let him forget 55-10 in 1990 over John Elway's Broncos. That was just great. And then you're sitting with 4 Super Bowls. You won one in 82, 85, 89, and 90. So you've won 4 in 10 years, which means you're going on average every 2+ years to a Super Bowl and winning one. You're 4-0.
Yeah.
So 5 years takes you 5 years to get to your next one where you're playing the Chargers. And that was Steve Young.
Yeah. With a bunch of playoff appearances that they went far in between.
Sure.
Just not the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Just weren't there. And I mean, honestly, that was
a shellacking.
It really, it's funny too that I've always thought this though. We look at that as like when we think about Young versus the Chargers as like this insane shellacking that it was. But it wasn't as much of a shellacking as over Elway.
Right, the 55-10. This was what, 49-26?
Yeah, but isn't it weird when you think about it that we talk more about the shellacking there versus they boat raced the Chargers, but they dog walked the Broncos. Here's the Chargers, though.
Number 44. They fake it to Floyd. Young to the air. Young to Jerry Rice. Touchdown, San Francisco. At the 49-yard line. Young this time gives it or fakes it to Floyd, then throws to Waters, who breaks a couple of tackles, and there goes Ricky for a touchdown. The goal from the 5. Young to Floyd. Touchdown. After the timeout. And the Chargers blitz, but Young gets it off to Ricky Waters for the touchdown. Well, I'll tell you, the Chargers don't blitz much next Sunday. It's 3rd and 13 to 15 after the timeout. Young throws. Jerry Rice. Touchdown. Spots with the foreign languages that are this broadcast is being hit. Rice making the catch, stretching and reaching. Touchdown, San Francisco. A clinic. Touchdown.
Yeah. 6 touchdowns.
Al Michaels.
I also believe that was the same Super Bowl where the Budweiser Frogs first appeared.
Oh.
Bud. Those?
Yeah.
Was the Bud Bowl happening then?
Yeah.
I used to love the Bud Bowl, man.
How great was the Bud Bowl?
The Bud Bowl was, oh, man. And I was
really
in.
You loved the Bud Bowl?
We used to
loved the Bud Bowl.
Hadn't had a sip of beer or a can of beer in my life. But, man, at school, we would take sides. I remember betting what was then the biggest currency we had in school, those red Jawbreaker Fireballs.
Yeah. Was it Bud versus Bud Light?
It was Bud versus Bud Light.
Yeah.
So in that Bud Bowl, Budweiser beat Bud Light 26-24.
And it was always like some comeback. What?
How does he know that?
Well, because we all remember.
I looked it up.
Yeah. He's got a computer.
Think I don't have stats on the Bud Bowl?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole Wikipedia page with the results.
Or the averages.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and there was always some crazy comeback. It was never a blowout. I think one year didn't they get stupid and put like Bud Dry in there one year? I feel like
wasn't there a spoof with like the refrigerator, like
a
bigger version or something?
Yes, there was 100%
tall can or tall bottle.
There's really no doubt that the world heavyweight champion of Super Bowl commercials is 100% Anheuser-Busch, and I don't know that there's a close second.
What, the Clydesdales?
So you got the Clydesdales, you have the Bud Bowl, you have Spuds McKenzie, you have the Frogs, you have that whole thing. I hated that. But they have had so many like the one where 1 year, I think it was maybe the Whitney Houston year, it might have been 91. They ran the oh God, the soldiers are coming off the plane in the airport and they get the ovation and it's all like, thank you for your service. And it's like, like those always get me. Military reunions, stuff like that. They got all over that. Yeah, the Clydesdales, which are the icon of iconics.
Yeah.
I mean, Geico's done some good ones. The Chips have done, Doritos and all that. They've done some good ones. Who did Puppy Monkey Baby?
Oh, I don't know.
Wasn't that a chip? Frito?
Oh, I think it was like a website.
Yeah,
you might be right.
.com.
Yeah. I mean, so we'll definitely get into commercials. Here's another thing, though. And we'll get back to the Niners here, but here's another thing. Can we stop leaking the commercials?
Right.
Please. Can we leak them after?
Oh, I've got a great idea. You know how we're talking about commercials? What we should do is something so bad that they won't allow it as a commercial, so we don't have to pay for the commercial.
Ooh.
And then we put it online. This is the commercial that the NFL doesn't want you to see.
Yes, and then we don't have to pay for it at all.
All right.
It will. You know what it should be? And I got it. This will tie into the whole show. It should be the prank we pull on Kyle for eating our food and the aftermath. I'd be like, can't see that. I don't know how you turn that into a commercial.
We'll find a way.
Kyle's just going through. Like, want to work? Come on down. I purposely left them out, but fine. Then you have 2013, Ravens 34, Niners 31.
Actually, a great Super Bowl. It was weird. The lights go out.
That was the whole thing. That was the lights out.
Kick return. But then the Niners, didn't they? Yeah, they had four plays inside the 10, right? For the eventual win. And I remember at the time everybody was ripping them for, I think they threw all four.
It's a Crabtree, wasn't it?
A couple of them, yeah, if not all of them, yeah.
And then They had, that one was they almost came back and got it versus the Ravens, but they fell short. Then you had the
10-point lead in the fourth against the Chiefs.
Then the 21-0 in the fourth quarter. Yeah. That was it. So
4 wins, now 2 losses.
Just hurry up and get here.
Yeah.
Also should be on a Saturday.
Nah.
You like Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah.
Monday should be a holiday.
Or that's either. I'm fine with either way.
It's not like we have an early show. Oh, wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Gross.
Jason, that was an insane poll, the Vince Vaughn thing. That's from the 209. And from the 916, there is a local dog named Bark Purdy. You can go vote for him.
For what?
For
what?
What
are we voting for?
What are we?
For being a local dog?
Right. Good job, local dog. Bark Purdy. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Bark Purdy. I would do that if I was getting a new dog. We'll take a break. When we come back. The Heat cool off the Kings. I see what you did there with the headline. Miami's player-only meeting outweighed the Kings' talent and effort, and we've got post-game analysis for you right after this.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
We all make resolutions this time of year, and let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but will help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
It was a comeback for the ages Sunday in Santa Clara.
Going to take a deep shot to Brandon Ayuk. It's the floor.
Oh, he caught it!
Ayuk caught it out of the air.
The 49ers saved their best for last and now have earned a trip to Las Vegas to face the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's over. The Niners are going to Vegas.
Join us for Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th, on your home of the NFL, Sactown Sports.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Southern on the left side, working against Fox, isolated there on that left wing. Bumps into him, gets the edge of the paint, kicks it out on top. Bud steps into the three, and he hits it. Kevin Love doing what he's done his entire career. It's his 55th three-pointer of the season. Miami has its biggest lead of the early evening at 17-12. That's 7 straight points for the Heat. Second one for Sabonis. Missed them both. He still hasn't scored. With 10 seconds from the midpoint of the second quarter. On the right wing, Terry Rozier feeds the baseline. Up and under one to the rim, and a score by Caleb Martin. Kings are getting blown out in South Florida. Kings not having a great three-point night. They're 10 of 29. That's 35%. A little subpar. Butler in the paint. Kicks to the corner. Got a three on the way. It's good. Terry Rozier. Miami has opened up a 10-point lead. We're in the final 2 minutes of this third. McGee, a sweeping rip around and out. Very good from the right baseline. Boy, some tough bounces now for the Kings. shooting 45% for the ball game. Heater at 52%. Hero sets up the alley-oop. Bam with a spike. Oh, he had to reach way toward the rafters to get his hand on that one. But he emphatically threw it down. Gives it up to Butler. Butler just milking the clock now. Difference between the clocks, 5 seconds. Miami fans coming to their feet en masse. Franchise win number 1,500 to be achieved in 5 more seconds.
Yeah, well, that's how it ended. As G-Man said, Kings just couldn't score for stretches there. Who has trouble scoring in Miami? I mean, my goodness, Mike Brown said they outworked them.
Bottom line, you got to give the Heat a lot of credit. I thought they outworked us tonight. First half, we had 11 deflections, and we're big on deflections. It kind of gives us an idea of what our activity level is, and we had 11 deflections in the first half, which was pretty good. I thought in the first half we missed a lot of open shots. We took some pretty good shots that we missed, but we were active defensively, and that's what kept us in the game. And then the second half, we had 3 deflections the whole second half, and for us, again, that's a telltale sign that we weren't active enough on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and you saw that.
Yeah,
I mean, what was the pregame stat? Was it Jordy? No, it was Jay Triano said something like, when we get, I don't know what it was, 20 deflections or something in a game, they have some crazy awesome record.
Yeah, and they tailed off. I mean, I did think at stretches they did play good defense, but the offense let them down last night. They had trouble scoring, going against that zone, missing threes.
Yep.
The bench got completely outplayed.
Yes, again.
And that's the thing I think sometimes too, when Miami has this players only meeting. Spoelstra seemed grumpy before the game, didn't really talk to the media. Well, basically in a losing streak, the most of the shine or the blame, I guess in this case, would go to the starters. So those role players thought they could make an impact, and I thought those guys came in. Richardson was incredible. Kevin Love, you go down the line. We talked about Jaime Jaquez earlier, Caleb Martin. Those guys all completely outplayed the Kings.
They 100% did. And that goes back a little bit to what we talked about in Memphis off of Katie's point, that when you have these guys that are getting opportunities, they can take those opportunities and absolutely run with them. You talked about shooting and the issues. Keegan Murray, according to Mike Brown, is the only one making shots.
We got a couple wide open looks, and the reality of it is Keegan is the only one that really shot the 3-ball well. He's 7 for 11, but if you take Keegan out, we're 5 for I don't know, what's that, 29? Yeah, 5 for 29 with the rest of the group. And if you're open, you got to let it fly. And I felt our guys were open on some of those, and so I'm okay with just thinking back on most of the looks that we got. We know we're a good 3-point shooting team, and you just hope that they go in.
Yeah, they didn't.
No,
they didn't go in. And look, that's I think the difference between the level they're at now and the level that I think they will make it to is when the Kings' shots aren't falling, they're pretty much not going to win the game. And by the way, that's the same for every team.
Yeah.
What I would like to see more of as this team grows is their shots aren't falling. Great. We're going to make it up on the defensive end, and we're going to grind this game out. And I think that's the difference between cute little first and second round teams and we can compete for a championship team. And they just aren't there yet.
Yeah. And the other thing, it's never on one person and anything like this. But I mean, Fox, if we do the average thing again, he's a 24, 25, 27, sometimes 29 a game guy. Yeah. I mean, at 13, I mean, he was off. He didn't have the same kind of impact in the game. And if Fox is living in that neighborhood, I think the game's different, but he didn't. So the credit to the Heat.
Well, and that's the thing. That's where you really get sad about losing this game, which I think was very, very winnable. The I won't say the Heat they didn't play bad, but they beat the Kings by 9. They beat the Kings by 9, and it just seemed it was there for the taking. It was a 2-point game at the half after the Kings were down big. They did that with Barnes scoring 9, Fox scoring 13, Monk scoring 6, and Monk and Fox alone were a combined 7 of 24 add in Harrison Barnes, and that's 11 of 37 from two guys that you rely on every night and one guy that really had been making some inroads in Harrison Barnes lately.
Right. Yeah. So those three kind of, they did let him down.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll do some scouting for you on the Kings opponent tomorrow night. The Pacers, they are in action tonight, plus what else to watch tonight and what else to pay attention to tonight right here on Sactown Sports.
It was a comeback for the ages Sunday in Santa Clara.
Going to take a deep shot to Brandon Ayuk. It's the
Oh, he caught it!
Caught! Ayuk caught it out of the air.
The 49ers saved their best for last and now have earned a trip to Las Vegas to face the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's over. The Niners are going to Vegas.
Join us for Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th, on your home of the NFL, Sactown Sports.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All of this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of thousands of customers every single day. Learn how you can leverage their reach for your business. Text digital to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text digital to 916-766-5105.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers, the No Surprise guys. We love that old song, Respect. You know, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. It's a good song and a good business philosophy. At Bell Brothers, everything we do is designed to show respect for our customers. We show up on time out of respect. Our technicians are clean-cut, friendly, and wear identification badges out of respect. We do good deeds for free for our customers and leave their homes cleaner than we found them. That's right, out of respect. So, if you want plumbing and AC service from a company that will show you some R-E-S-P-E-C-T, call Bell Brothers. We promise to respect your time, your home, and you. Call Bell Brothers right now to schedule an $87 precision tune-up. Or call if you have plumbing problems. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Super Bowl this year for CBS will be using a total of 165 cameras, 3 drones, 5 sky cams, 24 robotic cameras, 20 end zone pylon cameras. There's only 8 pylons, right?
Yeah, but multiple in each pylon.
Wait. What? How many pylons?
8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5,
Oh,
6.
the ones on the
end zones.
No. The ones for the on the chains for the first down marker.
No, but that's not at the end. That's
Yeah,
not
they're
an
not
end
putting
zone
a
pylon.
camera on that.
Is
No.
there one in the wait? Tell me how many number?
There's 20 end zone pylon cameras.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah, there's not one in the back middle. No, it's the corners.
But then I'm trying to think, like, what would you put multiple ones on the pylons for? Like,
well, there's going to probably be one straight across the
straight
goal line,
across, and then
one maybe going up the
one
sideline.
facing? Okay.
Maybe they're above.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, maybe they're counting that. 24 cameras with 4K zoom capability and 6 doink cameras inside the uprights. Plus, the Super Bowl will also be simulcast on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, first time.
19.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
19 TV mobile units, 49 replay machines, 6 sets, TV sets. Huh? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And 23 augmented reality cameras. What does that do? That's some sort of Apple Vision thing.
Will you watch any of it on Nickelodeon?
You know, I'll probably.
I enjoyed it the time I did. The last
Yeah.
couple times I haven't. I watched, what was the one this year? The Andy's Room, like the Toy Story one.
Yeah.
That was fine.
With the dog for the first down.
Yeah.
I will every year. You know, we talked about the Bud Bowl earlier. I do love watching. Honestly, no joke. And every year it gets less and less. But for about the last good solid 10-year run of watching the Puppy Bowl with my kids,
Not once.
No, never.
No.
It's
And
just
seems cute. I just never
the
have.
puppy scores, and then like they go to the kitty cam, and it's just, that's where Bark Purdy. We're gonna have a local dog. There was more context on that. That's where Bark Purdy's going. I love the Puppy Bowl.
I was hoping Burn Doggo Silva would get a chance.
Didn't though.
No.
And I was just thinking about this last night. I don't know what I'm gonna do for Super Bowl. I haven't even thought about it. Do I want to go somewhere and be around people?
Nope.
Well,
are you saying that is something you wouldn't want to do, or what you think I want to do?
I think that's something that you don't want to do.
I don't know what your overall thought is or what but I think I know what you might be doing before the Super Bowl.
What's that?
Watching the Kings.
Watching this. Are they on?
They play Super Bowl Sunday.
They do?
Uh-huh.
Wait, I'm just finding this out?
Yeah, I guess so.
Ew.
I'm not.
Wait.
They play at noon.
Oh, so they kind of lead into the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I guess I'm okay with that. Poor Kings, though.
Are you, though?
Well, because then what, you miss all the pregame?
No, you're going to be freaking out about the Kings and then
That's
going to the Niners
true.
game, and you're going to be freaking out about the Niners.
Well,
you could have one heck of a Monday.
Oh, my God. That. Because they're playing at Oklahoma City on Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah. They don't even get to watch the game.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. No, well, I'm honestly curious. We got to find that out. Are they going to stay in Oklahoma City to watch the game? Or are they going to be on a plane?
Plane to Phoenix, right?
Yeah, but the game's going to end at like 2 something.
Okay, you staying?
Game starts at 3 something.
Yeah, that's. I think it's
You're
about
staying in OKC just to stay and watch the game, which you can.
Yeah,
I
like
guess.
maybe. I mean, I know that'd be a
Sunday morning.
Well,
Monday morning.
If I'm the Kings, what I do, you take a team vote. If they say yeah, then you have the OKC set them up in some like
And
room.
then fly later.
Yeah, and then just fly after the game.
Whatever decision they make, you're going to say that's the reason why they didn't win.
The reason they didn't win is because they stuck around to watch the game instead of getting to Phoenix and getting some rest.
Yeah, get focused.
Or the reason they didn't win is they were on a plane during the Super Bowl and they missed out on this chance for bonding. I mean, I'm sure they could probably watch it on the plane, maybe. Yeah, it's tough to watch. It'd be all scraggly.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that. I don't know. So you're right. I don't want to go anywhere. Yeah, that's a fact. But then it's like, do I want to have a Super Bowl party? Not a party, but like, do I want to have people over?
I'm going to say you don't.
I don't want to do that either. Here's the
You're
thing.
going to watch the game at home.
I think I'm going to watch the game at home.
And make some fun food.
I'm going to have a bunch of food, watch the game at the house.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing.
You have 2 games to watch.
And I don't want it. It'd be one thing if it was like the Chiefs and the Lions. Well, maybe I'd go somewhere. Maybe I'd have people over. But this is business. So I don't want to have a Super Bowl party and my wife and all the friends, and they're just sitting around being like, oh, the commercial, blah, 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 during the game, which is what would happen. I don't want that. I want everyone, if you're coming over, you better focus on the game.
Let me ask you the odds right now of a 2-0 sweep, 1-1 split, 0-2. And each of the 1-1 splits, Kings win or Niners win. I know what would make you the happiest.
Well, yeah.
The Niners team is the most important.
Yes. Yes, I will trade the Kings for the Niners in this case. Yeah. Yes. I would say the odds on favorite would have to be an 0-2.
I knew you were going to say
that. But for real, like, think about it. The
Niners are favored.
Well, but they shouldn't be. And the Kings are definitely not going to be favored in Oklahoma City.
And they beat them 8 times in a row.
But they're in Oklahoma City. Okay. All right.
Yeah, because none of those wins were in Oklahoma City.
All right, guys.
You wanted to say something else.
Let me ask you something. Let's go to the whole case of $200,000 in it. You got to bet one way or the other. Are you betting 1-1 over 0-2?
I think 1-1's the safest bet.
You do. So you would put your money on either the Niners or the Kings. Would
2
win
chances
Sunday.
at a win. 1 win.
Chris?
I would put my money on 0-2.
I think screw Vegas. I feel like that's the safest bet. I would say 0-2, 1-1, 2-0. 2-0 would be great, though. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If 2-0 happens, Monday's going to be so great. I'll bring something in. I don't know what. I'll bring in my pastrami slicer. I'll slice pastrami for you guys on the air. You can plug it in underneath.
I thought you were just going to bring in the slicer. Hey, guys, look at this.
Hey, what can we slice up? Here's an M&M. But, yeah, like, if your team is in the Super Bowl, I don't know.
I just want to watch the game.
Right. Like, you don't want to. And then here's the worst, though. If your team's in the Super Bowl and they lose, you're going to have like rando, like friends that aren't like that into sports that are like, hey, man, they played hard. You just want to shut up.
It's probably, honestly, the most enjoyable to watch the Super Bowl when you literally have no care.
Yes, 100%.
I think a couple years ago was the Rams Bengals. They're like, who do you want? I'm like, I don't care. I really don't care.
It's whatever.
I don't. If the Rams win, fine. Bengals win, fine. Just didn't care.
Okay, which friend do you hate more watching the game? The person that's like doesn't care about the game but is like rooting for you, or the person that they don't care but they know that you're rooting for someone so they root for the other team?
Oh God, I'll boot that person. I can't be around that person. I don't do good at the whole like I'm gonna troll you in sport. I don't do, and I admit it. Like I don't.
What do you do well in sports?
I do well in when my team wins and I'm surrounded by people that are also rooting for that team and are watching and paying attention, not screwing around. Stop screwing around.
Yeah. Do your job.
Yes. Like when Florida State loses and like if they lose a big game, like that's the only time I really block people on Twitter. It's like, and I admit it. I'm like, I can't handle it. Like I'm that guy. I can't handle it.
Why? Because people get after you?
Oh, 100%. Here's Robert Horry. Block. Oh, Niners. Oh, here's a gif of Calvin peeing on the block. And like, I admit that it's small of me and I'm hypocritical. Like, I'll wear that. Like, no problem. I am not mentally strong enough to handle it. When my team loses, I don't want to die, but like, I want to go into a coma for a while. Like, does that make sense? Like, I just want to go into I want to go into Aaron Rodgers' little retreat.
That
was absolutely insane.
I don't want to be around anyone. How blown away would you be, Chris, if it turned out that I had a Super Bowl party at my house and it was all KGK listeners? Like everyone from the chat, everybody.
That has a 0.0000001 chance of happening.
Which is more likely, the A's C's operations.
Didn't we go to a listener's house one time?
Yeah, yes. We did.
Delivered goodies.
We delivered a whole Super Bowl setup, didn't we?
Couch and
giant
TV.
TV.
And, balloons. We brought in everything.
Yeah, we brought. Didn't we bring pizza?
Yeah, I think so.
And I can't remember, were they like, oh my God, or was that the one where they were like, hey, thanks?
Yeah, I thought they were pretty
Were
excited.
they pretty excited?
Yeah, they were very excited.
They were? Okay, that wasn't that one then. Remember when we used to have a Super Bowl party?
Yes.
Huge. The first time I think I was only an intern for like a month or two, and it was insane.
Yeah.
Well, and we used to have it down the street, right? At the Red Lion or whatever that
We've
is.
done that. They've
Yeah.
been at, what's the golf course?
Wood Creek?
Yeah.
Yep.
Had them several different places.
And why did we stop them?
Don't know. Good question. I know the one.
Oh man, I'm out of cash.
That I know the one. Someone won like wasn't like I don't know. It was $1 million. Like
It's like I want to say it's $10,000.
Oh, was that the Devin Hester return?
Yeah,
I remember that too.
Yeah.
Also, that was the Prince halftime show.
Yeah.
Just stop me, guys, because I'm pretty sure this is okay because it's so long ago and I won't get specific. But like, didn't we pause them because didn't like one of our people get hammered and fall in the fountain or something?
Oh yeah.
That's
really?
That's a real thing. I think
so.
that might be. Yeah, it was like we
Our people can't be trusted.
like I won't be specific, obviously, but back in the day we used to. What we call them the Cage Decay girls,
Mm-hmm.
and you know they come around for events and they had like special Cage Decay outfits that they'd wear and they'd just be there. And I think didn't one of them just get housed and like start swimming in the fountain?
I don't know. Yeah.
Was it also the Super Bowl one where we had didn't one of our guys in promotions like total golf cart?
Yeah.
No, that was at a golf.
That was a golf event.
Oh, okay. We used to do golf events too.
Yeah.
Until someone wrecked a golf cart.
Yeah.
Good guy
We
too.
can't be trusted.
Right. I know we did one with Tom Flores doing a chalk talk one somewhere.
That
Remember
was the Bears and
oh, that was the Hester one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Colts Bears.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should just pick up the torch.
You should
open up the house.
Yeah.
Bring people over.
Okay. Dave's starting the invite. Who's coming?
Careful putting this out there because if you say something, you actually have to do it.
I said maybe I should.
And I'm
Pick
saying
up
you
the
should
torch.
keep it at maybe I should.
Yeah. I know, because we have rules. Lawyers are going to pop up. You said it. Now you have to do it. Well, let me think about that. It sounds really appealing to me. I think it'd be amazing to be sitting there watching the Niners get whooped by the Chiefs and have Chris Guerrero next to me like, hey, man, you want
What if
some?
you hosted the KHDK staff?
I would have had get-togethers for the KHDK staff before, but why are you laughing? Turn your mic on. Stop hiding. You stop hiding. But why are you laughing?
Because there's no way you would ever invite us over.
Here's the thing. If I said this before, my worry is that I do something like that and like 4 people come.
That's your worry.
Yes.
Your hope is that nobody shows.
That's our staff.
But I mean, that's a good point. I would. Did we talk about this last year? Wasn't I going to have a pool party?
You mentioned it.
I mentioned it.
When you found out about somebody else's party.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was Nick's party. I remember that. Am I not allowed to say that? That's okay, right?
It happened.
Yeah. And everybody went to that one. I mean, I didn't go.
I didn't either. Wasn't invited.
I was invited.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll think about this a little bit
Okay.
more. And we'll take the 5th caller right now, 1-800-920-1140 for PBR tickets. The toughest sport on dirt returns for the Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. Looking for caller number 5 to win a pair of tickets to experience the world's greatest 8-second man versus beast duel. For more information, go to SactownSports.com. Crosstalk celebrity birthdays next.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
No, I'm getting a cold.
Honey. Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Nothing beats driving cross-country in our RV.
This is so much fun, Dad. I don't even need to look at my phone.
It's not the destination, it's the journey. Jinx!
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive and you could use the savings to make sure that RV is always ready to hit the road. Who knows, your teenager might actually put down her phone for 5 minutes. It could happen. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of Sactown Sports 1140's road trip to Vegas for the big game. For all the latest game news to all the celebrity interviews from Media Row to all the festivities going on during game week, Sactown Sports has it all covered. Just like Jiffy Lube, the place to go before you go on your next road trip. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Yeah. Oh, thank God. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I have that sweatshirt. That's sweatshirt. Really? Yeah. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Yeah, what?
Good morning.
Tomorrow. I'm gonna skip the dumb little thing I do with
What?
because I want to talk to you guys.
Dumb little thing.
Oh, what's the day? No, we were talking about you today on the show because I did the opposite. It was way too short today. I had to lift it. Well, I did the same as you. I had to lift mine up too. I don't know who's been sitting. Talk about the seat. Who's been sitting. So I was talking about your big A's report that got a ton of traction. That's how our friend Casey Pratt picked that up as well. And so I wanted to be very careful when I talked about it on the air and I talked about it on Twitter that no shade at you or Casey. Sure. You guys did your job. I'm sure it's a great source. There's no chance of that happening. But I want to know why it was leaked.
What do you mean?
I want to know why somebody, it's your
Someone chose to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's your source. I don't know who they are, and obviously I won't ask. Obviously, they're sourcey enough for you to run with it and for Casey to give. This isn't Fred down the street. This is somebody. Sure. And so, to me, there's no chance of that happening, at all. So why is that being put out there? What's the chess move there?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was more conversational.
Yeah.
And then I asked for clearance.
Yeah.
And it was given to me. It wasn't hey, here's some information if you want it.
Sure.
So it wasn't, yeah.
All right, I'll ask this. And no is always obviously an acceptable answer. Are you comfortable with saying in what world that source works in? In other words,
no.
Yeah.
No.
Team source, fan source, Major League Baseball source. No. Okay, I'm just asking. Just doing my job.
I don't know either. If there's
I know.
If there's no point, because it's not going to happen.
No, it's not. There's no way. There's no chance.
Why do you need to know?
You have a better chance to start the 2025 season as their ace.
I am on track.
And Chris, Players Association would never go for it. Number one, they're not going to go for losing that many jobs. Baseball would not take that black eye. You're going to have an unbalanced schedule. There's no chance of it happening, but there's a reason they put it out.
I saw a comment on our clip on YouTube, and somebody said this happened with the Browns in the 90s.
When they moved from Baltimore or whichever way.
They just changed. Yeah, they went to.
Remember that?
Maybe they took a season off. I don't know. They never took a season off.
And you can't. I mean, it just wouldn't work schedule wise.
Well, they were they didn't have football for a while because the Cleveland Browns went to Baltimore.
Right.
But then they got a new team, but it wasn't right away.
Yeah.
I think it was
3-4 years later.
I see.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns went to Baltimore, so Cleveland did not have any football.
That's
for
right.
a while, but they never suspended the Browns.
That's
operation.
Right. Correct.
And so
there's a play there, though, and I want to know what it is. Is it a play? Because here's the other thing: the big three, Jeff Passan, Ken Rosenthal, and John Heyman, arguably the big three when it comes to baseball coverage, have all put out articles in the last week about how this thing's in trend. Here's the thing: we know the game. We know that they know front offices. They know Major League corporate and all that. They know where their milk is squeezed. You know,
Sure.
thank you.
I think we all do.
Yeah, right. They're not. There is a play going on right now.
Yeah.
A chess move going. Is it pressure on Fisher? Is it leverage on Salt Lake City and Sacramento? Is it the Angelo sale at 1.7? The fact that Fisher's trying to sell equity at a valuation of $2 billion, and he'd be lucky to get $1 billion for non-ownership controlling. We went into that today boringly, but that was my fault. Selling minority shares is not the same valuation as selling controlling shares.
Right.
He'd be lucky to get $1 billion. That's half of what he's asking for. Something's going on, and I just want to know what it is. So can you talk to people? Because I don't have the sources.
To me, if just my opinion, as far as why this would even get floated around, it feels like it would be heat on Fisher, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't allow this to happen. People already feel like Fisher has dog walked Major League Baseball.
Not boat race, dog walk.
So I don't think that this is a Fisher play.
Wouldn't Fisher want this though?
He would.
Yeah.
He would. But I think if they were trying to maybe spring this on people, now they can't do that.
Okay. And all right, just looking at this.
Thanks to Sactown Sports.
Yes, absolutely. You love that. You got Sports Illustrated, even though they just fired everybody, but you got it there.
Yeah.
Somebody's left on severance. And you.
Yeah.
And you.
Me.
It's always you.
I floated the idea that you can get rid of this whole 65 game thing in the NBA. We ended it. We solved the problem.
You guys texting?
Wait, no, not we.
I
did. He's being a guy. The whole thing is this, Alan. Guy leads the majors in home runs with 50, not 0.6. Guy leads the majors with 134 RBI, not 0.8. NBA is just doing it all wrong. We should award points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks to total. And then you bake in the 65 games thing. You take that away. It's just that simple. You look at the points leaders right now. You look at points per game, 1 through 5. Looks completely different when you go to total points. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's got a nice big lead. Joel Embiid goes from 1st to 6th. Why don't we just – the NBA, unlike football, what does football do? Football does, 4,000 yards. They do 25 touchdowns. They do what? Imagine Barry Bonds' record year. 0.416 home runs.
Yeah.
No, you go with total.
I just think the number's too big for all of it. Like, I think if we were maybe just doing points, it's okay, but I can't remember 4,000 rebounds or 4,000 points, 2,224 rebounds, and 500
You
assists.
don't have
like,
to.
That's what I'm saying.
For the awards, it's fine, but if you're trying to change the conversation around basketball, I just don't think
It's easier to go
points-
30, 15, and 5.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's
That's
but that's that's the thing. You don't have to it's not illegal to use averages anymore. I mean, they use average strikeouts per game for pitchers and different things.
Sure.
I'm saying, but for the awards,
I hear you there.
Go to totals.
I'm into that.
Who's
Be a
the,
piece of the puzzle for sure.
Who's the scoring leader? The guy who scored the most points.
Right.
But if that's not what everyone recognizes as what it is,
That's my point. They don't. And they need to. We need to move. Oh,
but then don't you possibly run into like people just trying to run up scores because it's like, oh, if the total points is the only thing that matters.
You already do.
No, for sure.
You already do. David
sure.
Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Because you're trying to get your average.
That's absolutely right. I mean, imagine if we were like, well, Mike Stanton won the home run contest. He's the home run champion with 0.4, but in reality, he hit 35 home runs in 100 games, and Paul Goldschmidt hit 45 in 162 games, and we gave it to Stanton because he had a higher average. When you really think about it, it's kind of asinine. We don't do that in football. We don't do that in baseball. Change basketball. Alan,
Right.
Congratulations. You're the scoring leader, even though Chris averaged more. I don't care about average.
Yeah, I guess the argument.
Average.
I think it's more so, and I told you this in the hallway, but I think it's more so the average is what you can expect a player to do on any given night. It's like, hey, if Joel Embiid, it doesn't matter if he played 50 games or if he played 82, his average every single night when he steps on the floor are these numbers. And I just think it's a lot easier and more digestible to get those numbers.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Big,
And you can still do that.
Yeah.
But when I'm giving out the scoring
That's
title,
fine, yeah.
I'm giving it out to Alan, who scored the most points.
Who cares about the scoring title?
I mean,
Who won the scoring title 2 years ago? I know Joel Embiid won it last. Won it the year before.
Yes. Right, but
I don't know.
I mean, I think
who was the total?
Based on everything else we've heard about this 65 games, or take away 3 more games, is 62.
Yeah, take away that.
Yeah, I get why it's more digestible, the average, but of course, I just don't know why that matters more than just the total.
because we've been trained that way. And it's time for us to start a revolution right here today. With celebrity birthdays, brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Crumble Cookies, birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends. And nothing says family and friends more than Crumble Cookies.
Happy birthday to Talanoa.
Smith.
O'Leary.
Okay, yes. Talanoa.
I almost forgot he's.
Yes.
I keep saying the Niners are healthy, but
Talanoa.
That is a big.
Talanoa.
He's 20.
I like that.
That's a good one.
Guys,
27.
I'm going to say 26.
But how many years is the average?
That's first for lawn for the win. 24.
Oh, wow.
He's a little.
Happy birthday to former King, Kevin.
Turner.
Former King.
Oh, you didn't hear the news?
Martin.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, out of Zanesville, Ohio. Kevin Martin is 44 today.
42.
38.
39.
Allen for the win. 41. Wow. Happy birthday, Rhonda. Yes. How old?
Help me.
She is 37.
38.
36.
38.
40.
We have an exact answer. Christopher Law, 37.
Wow.
Yeah,
No, my wrestlers.
Oh, for you and for Dave, for your wife as well. Holly Schmidt.
He's too old. Whatever it is. I don't know. Pauly Shore's it's weird. He's probably like 60.
Yeah, he's
56.
I have no idea.
You don't know who Pauly Shore is.
I've heard the name, but there's no way.
We don't have time for this.
We've got an exact answer. 56.
56. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Alan and Chris, they're next. They're going to talk Super Bowl. They're going to talk. Have you guys already announced your thing where you're going with the thing with the
We're going to Vegas.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to Vegas. It's official.
Okay.
All right. Radio Row. Guests galore.
Are you talking like an old time 30s guy? Yeah, see, we're going to Vegas. Yeah.
Is that how I sounded?
For a second there, I thought you got into that a
All
little.
right, I'll be Gus.
It's for real.
Yeah.
I got to get us copied.
We're going to Vegas.
All right.
Staying at Excalibur.
All I got to say is sleep. Don't stay out too late. If you get on those shows with all those interviews, Radio Row veteran, you got to have energy. What better place to get that energy? I feel like that was extra. I kind of telegraphed that. Carmichael Dave here, first show. For American Energy Heating and Air.